TikTok time to rock. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who is with me now as I start exactly on time, as is always the case. I'm here with Jai, and Jai informed me that Ali Dawah had been doing some damage control. Well, trying, and that it really did not work out very well, and didn't fool anybody. Hey, we got our Muslim friend over there in the chat. There, we got Hazem says hello. Hello, Hazem. Good seeing you here again, man. Good seeing you here, and yeah, that's pretty much the story of all of the aftermath of Hijab getting completely crushed by Avery. Gets crushed, realizes that Avery's video's going viral, gives him the copyright strike. Now they're going to have to keep dealing with that, but people saw it, and he had his buddy Ali Dawah.
Oh yeah,
good old trusty companion Ali Dawah jump in there, because we got this, because this be a square, this be a square. That's a dude you want on your side defending you. That's a guy you want doing damage control. So guys, we'll probably recap a little bit of the debate. We'll probably just play the beginning of the debate just for anyone who didn't see it, or if anyone needs a little reminder of what a massacre this was. We'll just watch a little bit of the debate. Then we'll check out Ali Dawah's video. Guess what? I have not watched it. But Jai said it was pretty sad. So we're going to check that out. And then we're going to see how people reacted to it, ladies and gentlemen. How people reacted to it. Be good stuff.
Yeah, reacted to the debate and to Ali Dawah's review of it. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that unfolds.
We're going to see how many people were impressed by it on his channel.
Yeah.
These will be good times, man. Good times.
Should be good.
I said good times, dang it.
Good times.
The voice kills me every time. Yeah, I have to do something with that. We need to make a cartoon or something like that where I'm the voice of Ali Dawah. You know what's weird? Because of his super weird, super squeaky voice, he could do voiceovers as like some, cartoon
like
character,
a cartoon,
something like that, like this. Like it would be a hilarious little cartoon character. Yo, because I was going down to a cinema seat. Yeah, let's go down, gang. Yeah, let's go over to the store. Yeah, and then people are like, yeah, let's go, Ali Dawah. Huh.
I don't know if this channel is still around. It was like some atheist channel back in the day where they do like cartoons of people. You remember that channel? So they basically like make like cartoons of like Muhammad Hijab or like some atheist debate.
Yeah.
We need to get like
when you said it, I was thinking Freedom Tunes, but yeah, that channel was funny because because they made all Muslims sound like, yo, I was going down to the. They made them all with that ridiculous
that's the
accent,
one.
and it would even be like Muhammad, and everyone else would have the exact same accent. That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
classic.
So we need something like that, and then you do the voice for Ali Dawah. Actually, you could do Ali Dawah, you could do Muhammad Hijab, you could do a couple of the voices, but we definitely gotta get something like that going. That'd be great.
And we got Mickey Mouse here. We got Ali Dawah needs to be on a higher dose of tea. Yeah, or any dose, or something like that. We got Ali Mouse. There we go. Ali Dawah will be the new Farfour. That's what they need.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you know what they should make? Because Farfour died. But they could start a new spinoff called Son of Farfour. Far 5. We got Far 5, but voiced by Ali Dawah. And he could teach shapes, right? He could teach shapes and Islamic logic and so on. That'd be good. What's that channel called? Dark Matter 25. Is that the one? Dark Matter?
I don't know the name of it.
Oh, wait.
But people are typing. Yeah, they got it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then there's Side 10. I remember Side 10 did the cartoons. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. People are saying Side 10 atheist.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't recommend the channel, but I know some of those, as far as they were like funny. Some of the things were really funny. And
hey, Jai, atheists can be funny too, man.
Yeah, they could be. It's funny, but sometimes it'd be like vulgar. So that's what I mean. I don't recommend it to people, but some of it was like hilarious and
Yeah, guys. Yeah, if we wanted a bunch of vulgarity, we just go watch some Dawah guys, not
exactly. That's what
atheists.
I'm saying. We don't need it from the atheists.
Come
Come
on,
on,
atheists,
man.
be better than the Dawah guys.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, we ready to jump in
Yeah,
here?
ready to go. Let's see.
Let's take these first three super chats. Gotta make this year of Quranic corruption. Yeah, we were planning on
Oh yes,
we were
yes.
planning on focusing on Muhammad in the Bible this year and just destroying that once for all.
Hmm.
But it's just been turning into an issue of Quran corruption. Just Muslims object, and then people respond. Then people go live. God Logic just went live. He may still
Yep.
be live, but God Logic
Yeah.
went live, inviting Muslims to call in and defend by any means necessary their belief that the Quran's been perfectly preserved, and they're just getting
Yeah.
wrecked over and over and over again. And so, and then like other people, when they see that, when they see, Muslims still using this argument, still believing this stuff, it makes us want to start making videos on this again. So, and
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to go with the flow, guys. Sometimes, you got the plan in your head. We're going to cover this and stuff like that. But it's like, I don't know. Muslims still haven't learned their lesson over here. So maybe we need to rub that in a little more.
Yeah, it's like you know how you say sometimes you'll make like a bunch of videos and then one video will just like rub the Muslims like it'll give them like
Not in the
the
Zut,
wrong
not in
way
the
and it
Zut
gives them
sense, not in the Zut sense,
not in
but
the
yeah,
sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
rubbing them in the in
No,
a
no,
weird way.
of course. Yeah, of course. So yeah, so you have like then it's like, oh, I didn't know, like you like you hit a sore spot or something, you didn't even realize it, and it's
Not
like
in the
this is
Zut
kind of like
sense.
what's happening with the yeah. Yeah, we gotta be careful. There was a
Muhammad was
there was a
sore, man. Why you keep bringing it up,
yeah.
man? You know he was sore. It says it. It says he returned all sore.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
so,
funny because he
so
returned to Abdullah ibn Masud. He returned
yeah,
to Abdullah ibn Masud, which is the guy that Muhammad said, if you want to learn the Quran from anyone, here's my number one guy.
yep,
Number
yep.
one on my Prophet Muhammad's list of the greatest, most knowledgeable people about the Quran. And he used to mock like Zayd ibn Thabit and stuff like that, who
Oh yeah,
compiled the Quran
yeah,
that you Muslims use today. The guy that Muhammad said, learn the Quran from, this guy mocked the guy who put the Quran that you have together. He mocked him. He mocked him. He said, what did he say? Like he was still in the loins of an unbelieving woman when I knew, 70 chapters
unbelieving
of the Quran.
kafir. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was sorry. Yeah, the unbeliever. Yeah, the kafir. Yeah, it was the loins of and then another one. He said, I learned like 70 chapters while he had like two locks of hair on his head, and yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff.
And then
So it's
and
kind of
then in
funny
the,
how these two come together. You have like a Zut with, and then you have like the corruption of the Quran as well
uh-huh.
coming.
Yeah. Yeah. So apparently being there on the night of Al Zut gave him this really
Yeah,
awesome
yeah,
memory for the Quran. But it's crazy because I tuned into Avery's channel a little while ago, and he was talking to
yeah.
a Muslim, and he puts a hadith right in his face. I mean, it's right in his face. It's from
Mhm.
Sahih al-Bukhari. It's where the followers of Ibn Masud were reciting the Quran, and
Yeah,
who was it? Abu Darda or someone like that comes out and
yeah,
says, "Hey, I want to ask because I remember I remember this being recited in a certain way." And I think it's like Surah 92 or something like that.
yeah,
I remember this being recited a certain way. How did Ibn Masud tell you guys to recite it? And they recite it, and
yeah.
he goes, "That's what I heard, but everyone else is telling me it has to be recited like this." Why is that amazing? Because if you look at the Quran today, it's the way everyone was telling Abu Darda to say it, and
Yeah,
he did exactly what Muhammad said. He said, if you want to go to Ibn Masud, go to Ibn Masud to learn the
exactly.
Quran. So Abu Darda's like, I remember Muhammad reciting it like this, but everyone's insisting it be recited like this. They're adding words, they're changing it. What do I do? What did Muhammad say I should do? Go to Ibn Masud. So he goes to his followers. How did Ibn Masud tell you to recite this? That's exactly what I remember. And guess what? The Quran you have today, it doesn't go with that. And it's just like you.
Yeah,
There's no way. There needs to be the Ibn Masud dilemma. Oh, and by the way, you sent me a while back. No, this was just like maybe week or two ago, you sent that hadith where people
Oh yeah,
brought out the Mus'haf of Ibn
yeah,
Masud to the
yeah,
pe- to the Sunni Muslims and stuff. They brought out the Mus'haf of
yeah.
Ibn Masud. What did they do with that when they saw it?
Burned it.
Burned it. They burned. They burned. They burned the Quran of Ibn Masud when it was brought forward, and Muhammad is the one who said, if you want to learn the Quran from anyone, learn it from Ibn Masud. And Ibn Masud's Quran gets brought in, they're like, burn it, burn it. There's so many differences, we can't take it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And see, that's like another thing where it's like until you start seeing how like it sticks and how Muslims like respond to it, you're like, whoa, I had no idea that I was gonna have that reaction. And so yeah, we have so much material like that, and if that is giving Muslims doubts and they're having to run to their Dawah guys and say, hey, how do you answer this? How do you answer that? That's great. We're living in great times. We got plenty of material for that.
These are, and it's just, and there's some, not sure what to call it, the Ibn Masud dilemma or something like that. But the idea is, if Muhammad really knows the Quran and knows who gets it right, then Muslims should go with Ibn Masud, because Muhammad was basically saying, you guys are all reciting the Quran here. That guy's the one who has it right. And then Muslims will actually burn his Quran because it's so different from what. And matter of fact, in that hadith in Jami at-Tirmidhi, Ibn Masud said when the order comes out from Uthman for everyone to hand over their Qurans because he wants to burn them all, Ibn Masud tells his followers, hide them, hide your Qurans,
Yep.
hide your
Yeah.
Quran. That's how they still had a copy later on, because he told his followers, hide them. Do not let these guys with their new Quran, with their Quran 2.0 from Zayd ibn Thabit, do not let them come and take the recitation that I learned from Muhammad himself. And I mean, this is just, I mean, it's a huge disaster. So anyway, if Muhammad knew the Quran and knew who recited it correctly, then Muslims should be going with Ibn Masud's version,
Ibn
but
Masud,
they burned it. They burned it,
Yeah.
right? So, or if you want to say the Quran you have today is the correct one, then Muhammad didn't know the Quran. Muhammad didn't know the Quran. He didn't know who recited it best. He was ignorant of the Quran. You have to pick one. Either the Quran you have today is not the correct Quran because it didn't match up with Ibn Masud's Quran. Muhammad said, go to Ibn Masud. Or, so if either Muhammad is right, the Quran you have today is wrong, or Muhammad was wrong about the Quran. If Muhammad himself is wrong about the Quran, don't tell us about the Quran, guys. Don't tell us about your stupid book.
Yeah. Ibn Masud also said, he's like, there's not one surah of the Quran that was revealed that I don't know why it was revealed and like where it was revealed. And then he says, and if there's anyone that thinks that they know it better than me, then I'll travel to like the hills to find him, or whatever exactly he said.
Yeah, he would have showed up, laid a smackdown on you for saying you know the Quran better than him. Be like, oh yeah?
Exactly.
Oh, you want to recite the Quran? Let's go. Let's do it, buddy. And what do? Burn it! Burn this guy's Quran. Muhammad is stupid and ignorant. He doesn't know. This is bad, guys. And they don't know any of this, man. They just got their Dawah guys tell them for years, perfect preservation, right down the letter from the time of Muhammad. Yeah. And it's like, you guys are completely, like you're on a different planet or something like that. So anyway, it takes a while to kind of break out of that, but we're going to help you guys. We're going to help you. You guys are locked up. You're in prison. You're doing time. And we're going in there to rescue.
Our pleasure.
Got a rescue mission. We are the rescue squad. We run a rescue shop. That was that old poem. Some want to live within the sound of church or chapel bell. I want to run a rescue shop within a yard of hell, and there's nothing closer. There is no closer to hell than Islam, my friends. So we're gonna rescue.
Yeah. You know what? About Zayd being a little boy when Ibn Masud was learning the Quran from Muhammad. If you go through the biographical literature on the committee that Uthman, what do you call it? Like who had him oversee the Quran, the compilation of the Quran. You go through their biographical literature, and these were like children when Muhammad died. Like they were like 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old. They're just little kids. It's like, and then turns out that all three of them are related to Uthman. They're like his son-in-laws. They're married to his daughters in different ways or whatever.
Yeah, doesn't that really seem like someone who's just seizing control, and here's some guys that I have complete control over? Whereas Uthman, even though he's the caliph and would have political authority, he wouldn't have like greater authority on the Quran or something like that. And so
Right.
he didn't want to mess with Ibn Masud. You don't want to try and control Ibn Masud on the Quran. You don't want to try to control Ubay ibn Ka'b on the Quran. Why? These guys know more than you do and anyone you got working for you. And so let's just leave these guys completely out of it. Let's take these young guys that we can exercise complete psychological control over, and we'll do whatever we want, and we'll have them make a Quran for us. And Muslims, they have no idea about any of this. Matter of fact, I remember me and Nabil went to ISNA, the Islamic Society of North America, their annual meeting years ago. This is like when we first started debating, so most people still like had no clue who we were. So we actually signed up for the conference, went to the conference and stuff like that. We go to the Dawah task force meeting, and that's where it was the leader. It's funny because I just met his guy. I think I just met this guy's son, if it's the same one. So that shows you how long ago this was, because he was a young guy back then. But he's the one who started like the Why Islam campaign, and he was given the talk at the Why for the Dawah task force meeting at ISNA for the Muslim Student Association. That they're connecting. And so he's giving the Dawah task force lecture, and he's telling Muslims how to destroy Christianity. And what you do is you point out that the word Trinity is not in the Bible. Oh, and they're all going, whoa, how can we do that? That's awesome. And so we sit there, and then Nabil goes up to the guy afterwards, the guy who started the Why Islam. See, I don't know if it was like multiple people started, so I don't know this guy's actual, but if I recall correctly, it was the guy who started the Why Islam campaign. I was just at Ohio State and was talking to his son. He said, yeah, my dad's the guy who started the Why Islam campaign. I was like,
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, Nabil starts asking him questions, and he was like, hey, you're talking about how the Quran's been perfectly preserved, unlike the Bible. So what do you do with, like Abdullah ibn Masud, who had 111 chapters in his Quran because he rejected 3 chapters, or Ubay ibn Ka'b, who had 2 additional chapters. What do you do with these guys? And the guy who started the Why Islam campaign goes, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with any of these names. You might need to talk to someone who's like, it's like, what? You don't know Ibn Masud or Ubay ibn Ka'b? Oh my goodness.
Wow. Yeah, I remember one of Nabil's debates on the preservation of the Quran. I don't remember the name of the Muslim, because like you said, these guys, the Muslim guys, are not.
He debated Bassam Zawadi on this.
Oh yes,
that's
it
might
him.
have been Bassam. And by the way, that was the guy that Jake, when he came up with his tier list, he put Bassam Zawadi at the top.
Well, we all thought that was like Junior before we all thought that was because he looks like Junior, right? But so yeah, I was like, is this guy trolling? Is he have Junior on the top of his list?
It's really weird because I liked Bassam, man. I liked Bassam. Bassam was like cool dude. I used to hung out with Bassam. He came to New York, and we drove out to Long Island for a radio debate and stuff like that. But we were hanging out. He was over at my apartment. We were hanging out and stuff like that.
Well, one of the things about the debate that I remember, it specifically, is that he quoted Yasser Qadi in that debate on Quran preservation, because back then that was, he was like the guy that they would all go to. He was like a Salafi back then, and he was like their go-to guy, and he just wrote that book on the science of the Quran. So he actually quoted Yasser Qadi in a debate about Quran preservation. We should do something on that, and like we should like review that debate in the future or something like that, but like how this debate aged.
Matter of fact, I remember it was like a night or two before the debate, and Nabil's reading Yasser Qadi's book on the sciences of the Quran, and he goes, which eventually comes out in the holes of the narrative interview. He's going, they have no idea what the ahruf are.
Yes.
He goes, there's like, I forget the number and stuff like that. He's like, he gives 18 different theories on what the ahruf are. They don't know what the ahruf are. They keep saying dialects, but they have no clue what the ahruf are. Yeah. And so those are good times, man. Good.
Yeah. So he foresaw that. He foresaw that whole narrative before it even happened. But it's just funny because the Muslims, they used to own him. Like, they used to like, oh, this is our guy. This is our. Now it's like he's like never gonna hear Muslims.
And I know this because Muslims will be like, and this hadith or that's a weak hadith. I was like, well, according to Yasser Qadi, none of these hadiths can stand up to academic scrutiny. They're like, we don't care what he says. We don't care. We don't care what this guy says. By the way, isn't that amazing? This guy can lie, and he's the hero. The moment he tells the truth for 10 seconds, it's war. It's war. But that's a message. That's a message to anyone else in the Dawah community or any of those scholars. You better keep your mouth shut
Yeah.
about the reality of the situation. Keep your mouth shut.
Oh yeah.
We will destroy your career
Yep.
if you tell us the truth. We only want lies here.
Yep.
Insane,
Yep.
man.
Exactly.
Absolutely insane. Weird stuff, man. So, yep, looks like this is going to be the year of Quran corruption. What I'm hoping is we wreak so much havoc over the next couple months. Because guess what, guys? Next month, around this time, is the anniversary of the Holes
Oh
in the
yeah.
Narrative interview. We're going to go live all day long on various channels, uh,
Oh yeah.
going through just exposing this total lie, replaying. A matter of fact, I might just replay the whole Holes in the Narrative interview live so everyone can see what an
Oh yeah,
epic
man.
disaster this was. But we'll do that. But I'm hoping, maybe we'll just burn up the Quran so much over the summer that we can get back to Muhammad and the Bible. Maybe we finish out the year on that. We can do both, my guys. We can do both. We got a lot of
Yeah.
channels, a lot of people, a lot of
Yeah.
awesome times. Hey, Ida. Ida says, "Hi, David. Hi, Jai. How are you doing? I have awesome
Hey.
news. I got Chris's book shipped to me really fast. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Whoa. So Ida is like the first Chris's book, first one in Israel.
Oh, that's
Ida.
awesome. That's super cool.
I imagine it's the first one. I don't know.
No, that's cool. I still want to do like a standalone promo for Chris's book. I was waiting for it to be on Logos, so I can tell people the different ways. So
Oh
you can get
yeah.
it. You can get
Yeah,
it
yeah.
here on Amazon. Here you can get the ebook, and you can get it on Logos for people who want it on Logos and stuff like that. I saw like 2 days ago it was available for pre-order on Logos and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I
So
saw that.
I
Yeah.
might go ahead. I might go ahead and I'll probably make that for like Monday or something like that. But yeah, definitely want everyone to learn the Islamic dilemma. Good times. How dare you start on time? Now I'm late because of you. Yeah, I
That's
decided
hilarious.
to throw you all
Like
off.
they playing a little late because they think you're gonna be late, but you're on time.
Hey,
Nice,
David,
nice.
did you hear the attempt at a Muslim-only day at a Texas water park? Abbott thankfully stopped it and cut the funding it got from the city. Yeah, I did check that out. So, and I was sitting there wondering, and I'm kind of mixed on this because if someone wants to have, if Christians want to have like an event for Christians, I'm totally fine with that. If Muslims want to have an event for Muslims, I have no problem with that, and so on. But the issue is that it's at a public, it's at like some public water park or something like that. A water park that has public funding and stuff. And so, if there's public funding, you can't say only this group is allowed. So that's kind of the issue. And so they wanted a Muslim only event at the park, and then they tried to change it when there was an uproar, and they tried to change it to a modestly
Modest.
dressed
Yeah.
only event or something
Yeah.
like this. But yeah, the Abbott got involved and stuff like that. I might check
It's
that
like
out.
it's like the
It's not a
renaming of the Islamic dilemma to too difficult. This is it's like
yeah.
that's where they pulled. They're like,
Yeah.
it's not the Muslim only, but it's you must wear hijab, day or something.
Yeah, I'm
So,
thinking. I don't know. I don't know if that's important enough to cover, but everyone keeps bringing it up. Um, I might do a short. I might do a short live stream on it just to go through the stuff because I do wonder about like the laws and stuff. Like, let me put it this way: like California made it a rule for universities that your student organization, even if it's a religious organization, can't require that your leaders belong to the religion. In other words, they told Christians, Muslims, everyone, it has to be, you have to allow someone who rejects your religion to be a leader.
okay.
Like that sounds insane to me, right? In other words, if you're a Christian organization like Crew or Ratio Christi or something like that, you can't say that the leader is required to be part of our religious group. In other words, if an atheist comes in there and wants to run, and he gets some of his atheist friends to come in there and join, which they can because you can't require that only Christians be part of your group. Atheists could just go over there and take over the Christian organization and stuff. And there were some Christian organizations who said no, and they were canceled. They were no longer student organizations at universities in California. So it was actually creepy. Anyway, my point is, I'm not sure exactly where to draw the line on these issues. But yeah, in Texas, it had something to do with this is a public water park or something like that. Anyway, I don't know. I just have not sure about how you navigate certain issues like this.
I think Lebanon is set up to where the Constitution says that the president must be Maronite, and then it's like the second must be like, Shia. Then the next one is like Sunni. They have it like you have to have it in that order according to the Constitution. So it's funny how different parts of the world like
which won't last because they make that rule when the population.
Right.
There's a certain percentage of Christians and a certain percentage of this group and that group and so on, and they make the Constitution, and then those percentages change, and so I think matter of time before they start switching that. Let's see. The more I listen, the more I am convinced that Schrödinger wrote the Quran, not Muhammad. Oh, hi, David. That would explain the different Qiyat and stuff like that. Ubay ibn Kab, man. Ubay ibn Kab. That's funny. By the way, did you see that Sneeko got arrested and deported from Australia? Only decent thing the Labour government has ever done. But it's weird because they're kicking out Sneeko, but then they're bringing all the ISIS brides home.
That's exactly what I said. I'm like, okay, you're kicking him out because he's visiting some like ISIS family or a guy who's like related to ISIS. Like, why don't you just kick that guy out too? Like, yeah, kick out Sneeko, it's your country, but kick out the ISIS guy too. I mean, I don't know if that was the official reason or if that was just like one of the reasons. I don't know if they give it a different official reason, but yeah. So.
The reasoning with Sneeko is this guy speaks hate, and he he says all sorts of mean things about Jews and stuff. It's like, why don't you ask these ISIS brides what they think on all these issues and their kids? Bringing them home, and their kids and stuff like that. And it's pretty wild. Aussie Abe says, I like white AP, on time and intelligent. You're white AP.
White AP.
Yeah, you're white AP. Guys, keep in mind the history of Texas, where de jure segregation on race and religion is a historical embarrassment. That was, I saw the little interview with the woman who started the Muslim-only events at the water park, and that was the objection that got brought up to her. It's like, okay, so you're saying Muslims only. What if it was whites only? Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with the whites only? And interview did not go well for her. Let's just say interview did not go well.
They should do, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're ready to recap a little this debate here.
Oh yeah. So this is gonna be fun. This will be fun.
Okay, guys. So we've already been through this. We're just gonna watch, the first couple minutes just to see how Hijab was vibing and so on, and see how God Logic was doing, and then we'll check out Ali Dawah's damage control. Let's see.
You want to ask me the questions? Huh?
I came for the champ, man.
Questions.
I came for the champ.
Go ahead and ask me the questions that you want to ask.
Sure. But before we continue, is it okay that I also
raise your voice a bit? I can't hear you very well there.
Oh, hang on. I forgot about this part.
Yeah. This was an important part of the debate. An important part of the debate. Or preliminary comments to the debate.
Forgot about this part. Let's see.
Uh-oh. Testing. Are we okay? Testing.
Yeah, raise it a little bit higher.
All right. Let me.
You look a bit nervous there, boy.
Man, big stage, man.
Nervous there, boy.
Big stage, you know what I'm saying?
It's a big stage and a big opportunity.
I like this, how they try to play these mind games, and it's Avery ain't nervous at all. But they try that. Subhor, his buddy there, Subhor, he does the same thing afterwards. He's like, and we were so humiliated and terrified that blah, 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 blah. You can trust me. I am the Subhor. And it's funny how Avery just rolls with it, man. He's like, yeah, man, it's a big stage, man, big stage. Yeah. They wanted him to get defensive, and he just doesn't get defensive. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah.
The champ, man.
Oh, yes. You've been waiting like a good boy.
You the people's champ, man. You've been I don't know if you was getting your courage up or what. I don't know what it was, but anyway. I'm the giant
Go
slayer.
ahead.
Thank you.
Ask
So
the question.
is it okay that I record this and put it on my channel? Just want to get a verbal confirmation.
He said I'm the giant slayer. Hang on, I just want to back it up just a couple seconds, guys, because he starts asking if he has permission here. Let me see. I'll just back it up a little bit. Let's see. Here we go.
Champ, man. You've been yeah, I don't know if he was getting your courage up or what. I don't know what it was, but
anyway,
I'm the giant
Go
slayer.
ahead.
Thank you.
Ask
So
the
is it
question.
okay that I record this and put it on my channel? Just want to get a verbal confirmation. We're good.
Well, I mean, look, you can go live right now. I mean, I haven't got any issues with that myself.
Yeah, I'm
I
recording.
thought you were live already.
Yeah, I'm recording right now, so I'm just making sure I
Okay,
can
go
post this.
live. Go live so that your people can see what's happening right now.
Oh, they will. So I just want a verbal confirmation you're not going to copyright strike me.
No, you're going to go live, and it's absolutely
No.
fine.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. All right,
Just want verbal copyright. I just want verbal confirmation. Not going to copyright strike. No, go live. You're good.
so
We're
you ready?
going live simultaneously right now, aren't we?
I'm
Just like
not
the
live.
Father
I'm
and the Son
recording.
and the Holy Spirit are simultaneously God, are they?
This is a recording, just like the Hafs and the Warsh and the Guri are all simultaneously the Quran. Yeah.
that's a nice segue.
So tell me now.
Can I
this is what
ask you
we're
a
gonna do.
question?
I think this is a good way of doing it, Avery. Okay. A good way of doing it is you ask me a question about Islam,
Yeah.
and then we can go back and forth on that issue for some time. And then I ask you a question about Christianity, and we can go back and forth on that issue for it. So it's kind of equal.
Yeah.
Fair
Sounds
enough.
about right, yeah?
Fair enough.
And Hijab gets, long story short, Hijab gets crushed on the Islamic dilemma, which is what Avery brings up. And then Hijab wants to bring up his topic, so he wants to go after the Trinity. He still gets dusted, and he has to call in. He has to call in backup. He has to call in backup like a little punk.
Yep.
I want you to do me the following, Avery. I want you in front of the people that are watching at home today. Everybody watching at home, the Christians, the Muslims, the Jews, the Zionists, your friends, the Zionists, everybody want you to tell us what your strongest. I know you're unqualified. No, it's okay. You're not qualified. You know, you don't have any formal qualifications. You don't have any degrees. You don't have any certificates. You don't have any diplomas. I understand all that, but I give you concession because I want you.
Hey, David, how does he know? How does he know that? You think he's? What do you think he's saying that? He just. You don't have any certifications. You don't have any diplomas. You don't have any degrees. How does he know that?
Yeah, it seems like he's been studying Avery for a while. But he is the expert on these kinds of things.
Yeah.
His dad
definitely.
ran the Cambridge Leering Center.
Tell us
Well,
your strong.
My point is that Avery's one of our close friends, and I don't even know what degrees or not or anything like that. So it's
Yeah.
interesting that he assumes that he doesn't have anything.
Yeah,
and I wonder why that is.
yeah, guys, because I didn't know.
argument-
I mean, for all I know, Avery had a PhD. I had no
Yeah,
clue.
yeah, I
but
don't know.
Hijab's bringing it up. So, yeah, it's this would either be, right? Because I'm not aware of Avery talking about this. He may have, I don't know. But either Hijab has been investigating him, like looking into his background, because he realizes this is the guy who's wrecking Islam. So you notice he has a little team who does research on people. Like if he's debating Rabbi Shmuley, he has people go out and start looking into his family and stuff like that. And he does this with every person, person that he debates. He has them go and look up their backgrounds and stuff like that, and try and find dirt on them so they can bring that up instead of actually debating the points and stuff. Yeah. So either he's been investigating Avery, or he just assumes it because he's black. Racist Hijab.
No. Yeah. So then when he says other things throughout the debate, I think that kind of makes sense that he's just racist and making, stereotypes or assumptions that are based off of his racial, prejudices and things like that.
Yep, it is. Here we go. Yep, there it is, right there.
Yeah, exactly. Is that why Hijab? Is that
Why Hijab?
Yeah, because I don't remember him saying to, like, when Thane came on, I don't remember him saying, "Oh, you're unqualified, no degree," or IP. He didn't say that to him either. Why is it just Avery?
against Islam. We're all ears, Avery.
Nice. Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Want to hear that one then?
Yeah, man. I can't wait to give it, from someone who's unqualified, no credentials, just a, young kid who just, did a lot of YouTube University. It says a lot about all the
chase, Avery. Let's get there.
Yeah, I am, man. I am. You got to set it up.
Chase and give us the strong.
Gotta set it up.
Aren't you, boy?
I got to set it up.
Aren't you?
I got to set it up. Got to set it up.
Look, you see again how they try to get Avery defensive, right? Like, oh, look at you, you're scared, you're looking nervous. Yeah, he just rolls with it, and then, oh, you're unqualified, yeah, just little old unqualified me. All right, let's.
Love it.
They can't.
And now he's
rattle him. They can't rattle him.
Now he's using the title, the Unlettered Christian. Like if you go on his live stream right now, I think that's his handle on there, the Unlettered Christian. So it's like you're not gonna get under his skin, dude. You're trying. He's trying, and you're nervous, and he's like maybe he's projecting as well. Maybe Hijab's nervous. That's why he's got his,
That's why he needs that liquid. That's why he needs that liquid courage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why he needs that liquid courage in his cup.
It says a lot for someone who's unqualified to do what I've done to the Dawah squad, and now you're just last on my list.
Get on with it, mate.
He said you're last on my list.
Last on the
Get on
list.
with it, mate.
So what I'm gonna say is, Muhammad Hijab, is that one of the strongest, I wouldn't even say it's but one of the strongest arguments that I would like to use, obviously, would be the Islamic dilemma that you said is an easily refuted and disregarded argument. And so I would love to challenge
just before we start, that's your strongest argument. This is the way to undo Islam. The way to undo Islam is the Islamic dilemma. You've been in this apologetics game for a very long time. You believe this.
Actually, it hasn't been a very long time.
You believe that?
It's one of. I believe the strongest argument would most likely be Muhammad's moral character.
No, don't lose your confidence already. Come on, tell us.
It's weird. I had a Muslim complaining about this the other day. And they're going, why is he bringing up the Islamic dilemma when he said that the strongest argument is Muhammad's moral character? Avery said that specifically because that's what Muhammad Hijab's poll, not in the Zoot sense, but his poll said. Muhammad Hijab did a poll of Muslims and said, what, out of anything that he said, and he said he's only talking to Muslims who sometimes doubt whether their religion is true. And he said, when you doubt, what is causing those doubts? Moral problems with Muhammad. So I would agree. If you like what I think is the all around best argument, what I think is the all around best argument against Islam right now, it's the Islamic dilemma. But you could think of best in terms of what's most effective with Muslims. And guess what? What's most effective with Muslims is just blasting away at Muhammad. So you could call that the best. It's just like when someone says, what's the best argument for the existence of God? Well, it depends on what you mean. I think some of the best arguments for the existence of God are very difficult to understand. So they're not the most effective because they're harder for people to understand. So you might define best as what's kind of most effective, what people can grasp most quickly or something like that. So it depends on what you mean. That's why he says it's one of them. There's a family of arguments that are best against Islam.
Strongest argument. Let's go for number one because we need to go down.
I want to use this. I want to use the Islamic dilemma. Can we stop wasting time and talk about it?
Of course you can. That's your strongest argument.
All right, mashallah. Let's do it.
Okay, go ahead and make your argument.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to argue that from the Quran standpoint, it points to the previous scriptures as being authoritative over the Quran, meaning it's the standard of truth over the Quran. Okay? And I'm going to use a few verses. We could deal with one at a time. One of my favorite verses to use would be chapter 10, verse 94. Okay.
Yes.
And so this is what it says. It says, if you are in doubt, this is Allah speaking to Muhammad. If you are in doubt about that which we have revealed to you.
Oh, by the way,
then go.
I know we're not going to do an entire, viewing of this, but remember how I mentioned that every single time Muhammad Hijab quotes this verse in Arabic, he messes up? Well, I don't know how, but this debate kind of made its way into the Arabic speaking side of YouTube, and there's a Christian channel that they made the same point that I made, which is that I think they said 8 times he quoted the verse, he quoted it wrong every single, and they're just clowning on him in Arabic. It's so funny. So yeah, he's this debate, this review, people are making reviews in all different languages. I've only seen English and Arabic, but I'm sure wherever Islam is talked about, this debate is being discussed. And so his mistakes and losses are being spoken about in all sorts of parts of the world.
Here's what's funny, guys. So Muhammad Hijab is quoting the Quran incorrectly, right? That's not the issue. Hijab's memory is not perfect, even when he's drunk. Although you'd have to say, interesting that he's consistent. Yeah, he's consistently wrong. He's consistently wrong. So it seems that he's just memorized it wrong or something like that. But here's what I find fascinating. This ties into the issue of the perfect preservation of the Quran and so on. If Muhammad Hijab had existed during the time of Muhammad and heard Surah 10, verse 94, and memorized it, but got it wrong, as he so frequently does. And if Umar, future rightly guided caliph, we're walking along, listening to Muhammad Hijab respond to this young kafir, Avery, this Christian of Najran who shows up and has some questions about Surah 10, verse 94. And Hijab would say, let me quote it for you in Arabic. Suppose Umar had been walking by and said, whoa, this guy's misquoting the Quran. Oh, this guy's in trouble. He would have walked over there. Snatched up Muhammad Hijab. All that MMA crap wouldn't have worked against Umar. Umar would have snatched him up, slapped him, choked him a little bit, and said, I am dragging you to Muhammad, so that he can pronounce judgment on you for just massacring the Quran like this, you ignorant moron. And then he would have dragged Muhammad Hijab over there by his face, put him before Muhammad and said, Muhammad, we all know the Quran is recited like this. And he would have recited it. And Muhammad would have said, Muhammad Hijab, why don't you recite it? Hijab would have recited it completely incorrectly. And then Muhammad would have said, yep, Allah revealed it in all these different ways, guys.
Yeah. That's true.
Sad.
True story.
Hijab can say, Hijab, by the way, given what these guys think, Hijab can always just say, it's a reading you're not familiar with, guys. And it goes back to Muhammad too.
It could be.
Never know. It was because it was such a big mess. So maybe that would be his reasoning. All right, let's go.
Ask those who have been reading the scripture before you. Truly the truth has come to you from your Lord. So be not of those who doubt. So,
let me ask you this, Avery. Have you seen any of the exegetes on this?
Yeah.
Because it says, if you're in doubt, I'm sure you're aware. I know you're not qualified, but you understand that a conditional, if is a conditional. In kunta fi shakkin, if you are in doubt, that's the Arabic wording. If in kunta fi shakkin, if you are in doubt. If you look at the exegetes, they say he wasn't in doubt and he never asked. So it's irrelevant. Next one, please.
Okay. So notice, since I'm unqualified, it's a shame I got to teach you the argument. I never argued that he was in doubt.
I assure you, my friend. There's no teaching going on here.
I got you a job. Just let me get it out.
Hold on.
I can't even get it out, ladies and gentlemen.
You said one at a time.
Yes, I'm trying to respond to what you said.
Surah Yunus, chapter number 10, verse number 94.
Can I respond to what you said?
Wait, well, are you interrupting me?
Hijab, you cut me off, and now you're
interrupting me. Only I can interrupt you.
Yeah. Hijab gives, so Avery brings up a verse. Hijab brings up what he thinks is a refutation, because remember, in their minds, a refutation is just some words that will convince your own followers that you've responded, which he could have just said, bibbity bobbity bobbity boobity. This is the refutation. All his followers, alhamdulillah, so powerful. This is the proof. So he brings up something that would be compelling to his followers. But he didn't doubt, because they don't understand the point. And then Avery, why don't you let me explain it? Hijab interrupts him. And when Avery starts trying to respond, he goes, are you interrupting me? What a joke, man. This is Dawah.
No. We're dealing with one at a time here.
I know. So you made a statement about him not doubting. Let me respond to that.
If you are in any doubt, فَاسْأَلَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ, the ones who are given the book before.
Wrong.
So you have So now the exegetes say this is rhetorical. If conditional, you're in doubt, then
what's he supposed to do?
Then they say he never was in doubt, because the prophet was never in doubt, and he never asked. He never asked in this capacity. That's it. It's put that to the side.
Okay.
No problem.
So thank you. I appreciate that. That was a waste of time, because that's not my argument. My argument isn't that Muhammad doubted.
Notice
you're cutting me off again. This is the second time. Notice, if you're not afraid of the argument, I'm unqualified. Remember, I'm unqualified.
Let's go with it. Second verse.
All right. I'm unqualified, ladies and gentlemen. So, my argument is not that Muhammad was in doubt.
And look at people. He's already nervous. They keep doing this, right? This is part of the psychological games. It's so pathetic, guys. This is so pathetic. Like, you Dawah guys, just think of, you don't seem to grasp how this looks to anyone else on the planet outside of your little Dawah group. It's so pathetic.
Yeah. And he's like, we're waiting for your argument. It's like you keep interrupting him every time he says something, and then you don't let him complete the argument. We're waiting for your argument. Okay, then let me say it then.
Yeah, guys. So long story short, you've got Surah 10, verse 94, where Allah says to Muhammad, "If you are in doubt as to what we have revealed to you, ask those who were reading the book before you." So that's the people of the book. If you, Muhammad, are in doubt about the revelations you've been receiving, and you think, are these really from God? Could I be getting deceived here? Could I be insane? Could it be a demon like I originally thought when, it snatched me up in the cave and started roughing me up? If that's the case, if you're in doubt, Muhammad, just go ask the people of the book. What would that mean? It would mean that the people of the book will know if your revelation is from God or not. And it specifically says it's talking about their book, right? They know the book. They've been reading the book. Mm-hmm. They can tell you if this, well, what's that mean? It means that if you want to know if the Quran is the word of God, it has to match up with the standard of what the word of God is, which is the scriptures of the Jews and Christians. It has to line up, right? So what's the authority here? What's the standard? The scriptures of the Jews and Christians. And the response, but he didn't doubt, doesn't change the fact that the conditional has some meaning here. Like if Jai said, David, if you're thirsty right now, there's a big cup of coffee right beside you, and you can take a drink, and that will help you not be thirsty anymore. I might say, well, I'm not thirsty right now, so I don't need to take a drink. That doesn't change the fact that Jai just told me what would help me quench my thirst, right? Okay, so if Muhammad Hijab's response is, Muhammad didn't doubt, doesn't matter that Allah said, if you did doubt, here's what would help you with your doubts. Here's what would help you get rid of your doubts. Doesn't change the fact. Conditionals, even though they're conditionals, even though it's an if, even if it's an if, that still has meaning. It still has meaning. And hijab is acting like that verse is just completely irrelevant and should be thrown out of the Quran because it's not saying anything, because it's not a situation that actually happened. Okay, why is the verse in there, hijab? What was the point? Why did Allah do it? Just to confuse people? Not making any sense here, buddy. Anyway, it's another situation where, in a weird way, we have more respect for the Quran than they do. And we think the Quran is like a garbage book that's basically the will of Satan for destroying the image of God in people. So that's what we think of that book. And hijab's view of the book is lower than ours, because at least we want to represent it accurately in what it says, and they don't even grant it that. It's pathetic. Weird stuff, man.
Man, it's funny. I'm glad that these Dawah guys, like you have Orthodox Muslim doing videos against you and stuff like that, because now this is what they don't like to do. This is why they don't usually do this, is because I see some of his fans in the chat, and so this is what's going to happen. Now he's got people coming over here, and they're going to learn that these arguments, like he said, oh, watch Orthodox Muslim on this, he'll refute you. You guys are going to learn really fast that your Dawah guys don't know what they're talking about. And this is why they spend a lot of effort and try not to mention this channel or these channels or whatever, because they know you guys are going to do what you're doing. You're coming over now, and you're going to see that your Dawah guys do not have answers to these questions. Do not have answers. So One guy said that Orthodox Muslim can answer us on this. I'd love to see him try.
Yeah. So what would he just be giving yet another explanation of 1094? I'd love to see him go defend Muhammad Hijab's point. Yeah, but Muhammad didn't doubt. Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. And Jai, you can verify according to the actual commentators, because Hijab learns like what one guy says. Avery Avery knows that, and he knows what other commentators have said. But if you go to the commentators, right? So one, this is directed to Muhammad. This is Allah speaking to Muhammad. But you go to some of the commentators and they say, yeah, it's directed to Muhammad, but it's not really for him. It's for the Muslims. And you'll even have people, it's not just for the Muslims, it's for the Muslims and for the non-Muslims. If non-Muslims are doubting that Muhammad's revelations are from Allah, then
Exactly.
they should go to the people of the book to see if it lines up with theirs. And then their minds will be blown because they would go to, in theory, it's not what actually happens, but in theory, according to the verse, you're some pagan or polytheist or something like that, and you're like, I don't think this guy's actually getting revelations. Really, really, really? Well, why don't you go talk to the people of the book, and you'll see his revelations line up with theirs. And then the unbelievers will be like, whoa, how is this dumb guy in the middle of nowhere getting revelations that say the same thing as these revelations that these other groups have, right? That's what's supposed to happen according to. So anyway, you find you got that in the commentaries, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I don't know if this is Orthodox Muslims' response because I don't really keep up with him in particular, but I know like in his general camp, what they'll say is, oh, this is about the Muslims and the Christians the Christians and Jews who became Muslims. And so it's like, it's saying you ask them, but that doesn't actually
Doesn't help
anything because the book is still what's the authority there. It's not the interpreter, it's the book itself. And so as far as I know, like that's their camp's response to it. But like you said,
that makes no sense. Yeah.
No, it's like, but ask someone who believes in me, already to defend me, and whatever. But if there's like there needs to be an objective way to read that book, and it points you to Muhammad, which it doesn't do. So it'd be like in the kind of scenario that you gave, the analogy you gave, which is me saying, oh, drink this, and it's going to quench your thirst, but then you drink it and it doesn't quench your thirst. You're gonna start wondering like, wait, so his advice is not good. But if my advice is supposedly from God, well, then it's an even bigger problem. So therefore you got a huge issue with this. But yeah, the commentators will point out, amongst other things, like you said, it's like a rhetorical device where yes, Muhammad is being addressed, but it's really anyone who has doubts, it's for them to do.
Yeah, and guys, did you catch? Because I wasn't bringing this up, but Jai pointed out a very common response in the Dawah camp, which is that when Allah says, go to those who are reading the book before you, it's talking about Jews or Christians who had converted to Islam, right? So Muhammad could go ask them, and they think this is important. So he's asking Muslims. He's going to ask Muslims, not non-Muslims. Jai pointed out that doesn't help because you would be asking them if the Quran lines up with the Bible, right? You'd be asking Jews, does this line up with the Torah? You'd be asking Christians, does this line up with the gospel? And so even if you're talking to Muslims who were previously Jews or previously Christians, you would still be asking them, does this line up with these scriptures, which would still mean the previous scriptures are the authority over whether the Quran is revelation. There's no way out of this, guys. There's no way out of this, let alone, well, Muhammad didn't doubt. Next question. Stupid.
Argument is not that Muhammad was in doubt. My argument is what Allah tells him to do if he does doubt. Now, just to get this under clarity, would you agree that doubt means to be uncertain of the truth?
Yeah. That's a good definition.
So if Muhammad, conditional, granted, that's what the verse says, if he's uncertain about the truth of the Quran, what is he told to do by Allah?
فَاسْأَلَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ. Ask the people who have been given the book before.
Awesome. So if he goes and asks, if he's uncertain.
So is that where he makes the mistake? He says who've been given the book and not who were reading the book before you?
Yeah, exactly. And he just says it in Arabic wrong too. He says it in Arabic and in English, both of it was wrong. Like you said, he clearly just remembered the wrong way because that particular phrasing that's been given in the book, that appears like 15, 16, something like that, like a large number of times. So if you're memorizing the Quran, you're memorizing, like there's like phrases that come up over and over and over again. And that's one of the phrases that he just like inserts in here every single time he reads it. Because it starts out similar, but it's not the same verb.
About the truth of what the Quran is saying. And he goes and asks those who've been reading the scripture before him. That's supposed to help him gain certainty of the truth if he sees that the Quran is in line with what they have, correct?
Okay.
Is that correct?
If you're in doubt, it says in kunta fi shakkin, if you're in doubt, I don't know why you're smirking.
I'm just having a good
Because he
time,
already
man.
cooked you, man.
Oh,
You're done.
I know. Wait, hold on. I know why he's smirking and grinning because
That's funny. He's like, why are you grinning? Why are you smirking?
Yeah.
Because you just granted what it means to be in doubt. And therefore, it's obvious that the Quran is saying, this is what would remove your doubts. What? Being verified by the people who are reading the previous scriptures, which would only make sense if those scriptures were reliable. If they knew only corrupt scriptures with all kinds of false claims and so on, then this wouldn't work unless the Quran itself was full of false claims. So you already gave him. Look at his face. Look at Subhor. Look at Subhor. Look at Muhammad Hijab, and look at Avery. Just based on, because these are the guys. Oh, you're obviously nervous. You're obviously scared. You're obviously wetting yourself. We're so strong. Our followers super dumb. They're dumb. They fall for this. Just look, guys. Who's obviously cooking who here? Anyway, here we go.
not used to being in class because he's never been in class.
Right.
Look when he goes back to it.
We see who the one is in class right now.
There's nothing funny about it.
And what's funny is every time he says it, logic burns him up. Yes, he's nervous because he's never been in class. Oh, we see who's in class right now. Oh, gosh, he's good, man.
He's got a big smile on his face, too.
I'm
he
glad
knows he got to want that one. He knows he got to want that.
I'm glad Avery's on our side, man. I'm glad Avery's on our side.
This is
None of this is helping you, buddy.
Look. This is. I know you're a bucktooth apologist, and I know that you keep smirking and smiling. You think that this is going to get you somewhere. It's not going to get you anywhere with Muhammad Hijab.
I'm just having a good time,
It might get you
Hijab.
somewhere with a couple of other guys here and there.
Can you please get to the argument?
It's not going to get you
so
anywhere
he's
with
admitting.
Muhammad Hijab. Because
He's
the fact
admitting
is
that,
this. The fact is, conditionals have been even proposed in the Quran about Allah taking a son. If Allah wanted to take a son, he could have taken it.
Nice.
So the conditional here, for the bucktooth apologist, you have failed to give us anything of substance at this point.
I'm just waiting on you to engage with what I said.
You're presenting the strongest argument against Islam. So
Okay.
please, give us the strongest argument. Go on.
All right, awesome.
All right, guys. We'll go ahead and you guys can watch that. We've already been through this. Just wanted to give people the gist. Avery's going to continue smoking him, and then Avery doesn't really get to other verses. Hijab keeps bringing up responses, and every response every verse Muhammad Hijab brings up, he gets cooked on. Like, these are Hijab's responses, and Avery knows more, and he knows more about the Quran and more about the commentaries than Hijab does every single time. This is why he just gets cooked on the Islamic dilemma. But right there, when I keep saying conditionals have meaning. Conditionals have meaning, guys. Right? Even if you deny the antecedent, the antecedent is if A, then B, right? If A, that's the antecedent, and then B, that's the consequent. That's the consequent. Even if you deny the antecedent, even if you say the antecedent is not true, the conditional itself still has meaning. Like Hijab brings up, there are verses in the Quran. There's a verse in the Quran that says, if Allah wants to take a son, he can, but he doesn't. He doesn't, right? But that's still telling you something. It's saying if he did, he could, because he has the power to do so. It's still telling you something about Allah, right? And so they still have meaning, and Hijab he doesn't get the point, which is why Avery makes him.
Before you, because Blake just pointed something out that he misquoted something else in the Arabic. Can you just go? Do you still have it up, or is it up?
I can bring it right back up.
Thank you. So all of that slander and all.
What's up?
When he goes back to say that the Quran also brings up a conditional about Allah taking a son, she pointed out that he even misquoted that wrongly in Arabic.
Oh, he let's see.
Let me just.
Was it here?
In the Quran about Allah taking a son. If Allah wanted to take a son, he could have taken it.
Nice.
So the conditional here.
So Blake pointed out. Not Jake. Blake is saying in the chat that he's also misquoting that. I don't know the exact verse for that one, but yeah. So anyway, he's just like constantly doing this, and he doesn't actually get the argument, guys, until about, I think it's like 12-15 minutes into the discussion. And Ali Dawah kind of picks up on the discussion when he gets to the topic of the crucifixion. That's when Ali Dawah starts commenting. So, in other words, is the Quran consciously correcting what the Bible says? And he uses the crucifixion, chapter 4, verse 157, as an example of that. And so Ali Dawah kind of starts us off from there.
Hey, look at this. Look at this comment. Where's Issa? Where's
bet he's
Issa?
here.
Hey, Issa, where you at, man? Issa, quit goofing off, man. Trying to... Okay, we'll take a couple super chats real quick before we jump into Ali Dawah's response. We want Issa on here.
Wait.
All right, Issa, you got until we read these couple of super chats, or you're banned for life. You're banned for life from this channel. You hear me? You hear me? All right, don't mess with me, man. Lebanon was beautiful once. Then the Muslims outbirthed the Christians and tried to impose Sharia, and Iran began funding them. The rest is history.
Yeah. Not only that, but most Christians left as well.
They would leave. They would leave when they could. I talked to, oh, look what we have here. Look what we have here.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Shocker. Issa shows up. Hey, Issa. Your fans were asking for you, man. They don't care about your hair, man. You're just messing with your hair. Oh, it looks a little raggedy. That's why I wear a beanie for my cult.
You're funny.
Right. How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm always wonderful.
Hey, we're
Too
about
blessed to be stressed.
Hey,
Nice.
we're about to see your Dawah hero, Ali Dawah, try to do damage control. So get ready to have your heart broken yet again when one of your fellow Muslims cannot defend another of your fellow Muslims. This is just sad, man. This is sad. I talked to someone from, this was like really early on, like probably 2006 or something like that. I was talking to a Christian from Lebanon and was asking, like, well, what happened, man? You had a Christian majority country in the Middle East, and now what happened? He says, well, the Christians were focused on getting good educations for their kids, and the Muslims just kept having babies, and eventually we started not liking the area, so Christians who could leave would leave and go somewhere else, and the takeaway for everyone is that happened pretty darn quickly, guys. You had a Christian majority nation in the Middle East in the 20th century. Now you do not have a Christian majority nation in the Middle East. That can happen very quickly. Name your book A Psychopath's Guide to the Islamic Dilemma, or even make it a series, A Psychopath's Guide to Christ, Philosophy, Quran, Economy, etc. I might try that. The ISIS women have been arrested on slavery and trafficking charges.
Oh, is that Australia? You're talking
Really?
about Australia?
Jai, do a quick search for that if you can. Or
Okay, let's check. Let's take a look.
I had not heard any of that. That would be interesting. When does our Mahdi get here? I'm sure he needs attention. They posted that before you got here. You see that? You see that, Issa? They were asking where their Mahdi was. And they said, they're sure you need attention. Then shocker, you showed up.
Sure do.
Weird. Woman also owns 2 Leering centers per Not the Bee. Yeah, I saw that, but I couldn't tell if it was like, because these things are easy to Photoshop. So anyways, the woman who was setting up the thing at the water park and stuff like that, she had a page that had Leering Center on it, but I just don't. I mean, it may be completely correct. It's just people fake so much stuff nowadays that.
So this is like very recent news with Australia. It's like 1-2 days ago, and apparently 3 ISIS brides have returned and have been arrested. So it's very recent news. 1 day ago on ABC News Australia, and then 7 News Australia 2 days ago. ISIS brides returned to Australia facing arrest. So interesting. Thanks for letting us know about that.
That is interesting. Ali Dawah sounds like the emperor of the Lollipop Guild. I would think Issa's too young to know that, but Issa's seen every movie that's ever been made, so Jai, you're a little too young. There's a movie back in the day called The Wizard of Oz, man. The Wizard of Oz.
They made a lot of new Oz movies.
And you had the Lollipop Guild. We represent the Lollipop Guild. Yeah. Weren't you planning to invite Valentina Gomez or Priya Patel on a live stream? I think AP was gonna have someone on, have them on, but yeah, I don't know. AP actually was in. He met Valentina Gomez and he corresponded with Priya Patel and stuff like that. But he paid Ramsey to get him the info, lol. Paid Ramsey Abushi to dig up dirt and stuff like that.
That's funny.
Entirely believable. I mean, if Ramsey is the lawyer who's digging up things on people to dox them and so on, then would make sense. Ali Dawah didn't think this out. Brain's so slow, it's got to speed up to stop. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna love this review then, because you're gonna love it. Yeah.
This is comment. This is really making me want to watch it now, because
you're gonna love this comment, man.
Let's see. Look at Jake Shields trying to spell. Lol. I saw that. It was like completely grammatically incorrect, and he calls Iran.
I didn't even understand.
I
couldn't understand it at all.
Yeah. With him, to be fair, he did
could be a couple of shots
head. Yeah. And that just happens, guys. And that's not. He's an evil scumbag and so on, but. Yeah. That can happen to people who aren't evil scumbags. They get hit in the head too many times in their MMA career, and then they start losing it. Jai's Mimi academics were fake, didn't they? Mimi's academics were fake, didn't they?
I think they're referring to his dad's college. Now, we haven't actually been able to verify Muhammad Hijab's personally, but we know for a fact his dad does have a college training center that doesn't really look too legitimate to us.
Leering Center. Someone needs to compare the voice he had here with his normal voice and prove he was drunk. Well, it actually gets worse in some of it. At least he was like high energy here, and some of them he's like, so why are we going to talk about this? You see, he seems baked.
Well,
although when he was with Sneeko, he was super high energy and he was clearly stoned out of his mind. I mean, he was clearly stoned out of his mind when he did that video with Sneeko, when he's talking about Alex Jones. What did your daddy done? What did your daddy done then? Huh? Sounded like an idiot.
Yeah. So when I was going through Ali Dawah's channel yesterday, I saw there was a video where they talked a little bit about something that might have something to do with that. I don't know. I have to look into it a bit more, though. But
the ISIS brides did everything possible to come back to the society they want so hard to destroy. The Labor government trying so hard to bring them back. Yeah, that is what's crazy, right?
Sense.
They went and joined ISIS because they wanted to destroy the rest of the world, and then it doesn't work. It doesn't work out, and then they're like, "Please, can we come home? Can we come home?" And then you got rough decisions. You got rough decisions because these are people who like said, we don't want to be part of this anymore. We want to go join this other country. But I think technically countries are required to bring their people back for charges or something like this. So I don't even know the situation. It's a weird situation. When the UK told said that they wouldn't bring back that Shamima
Begum,
when they said that was because there was actually a technicality where because her parents were from Bangladesh and so on, that it's somehow you can renounce their citizenship. You can renounce her citizenship because of the way the law is. So there was a technicality there. Other than that, European nations have been bringing home the people who joined ISIS and then sending them to jail and stuff. The real issue, guys, and I've been saying this for a while, is lots of the people who went and joined ISIS, when they come back, lots of times the governments don't know what they did while they were with ISIS. They don't know if they killed people. They don't know what they did. And so they only charge them with like providing material support, something like that. But then they'll get like 10 years. They'll get like 10-year prison sentences or something like that. Well, guess what? Those people are being released now, right? Those are the people being released after they came back. And then they were locked up. And now, so you have like actual ISIS jihadis walking the streets in European countries. Pretty creepy.
Hey, Issa, we have I'm not going to say an invasion, but we got some new viewers from Orthodox Muslims. So that people are asking, "Are you a fake Muslim? What's your situation?" That people don't know you. They want to know what's going on with you.
Oh, we got some Orthodox Muslims. Some Orthodox Muslims.
There were a couple of them in the chat earlier.
Oh, cool. Hey, you guys want to talk and tell us how the defend your boy Muhammad Hijab here?
I think it's such a funny question. I'm against oppression.
Are you a fake Muslim? That's the question. Are you a fake Muslim?
Why are you faker than Muhammad Hijab? The fakest.
I mean, according to their standard, I am, which is fine. Like, I believe in modernity. I believe in America. I believe in the UK. I believe in these spaces where we have freedom. Yeah, so according to their standard, I'm fake. I don't want their
You don't want
paradise
their
is my
approval.
hell.
Okay.
Their
Oh, okay.
paradise is my hell. Let's put it that way.
Are you sad and upset that you are frowned upon by so many fans of the Dawah clowns? Does that upset you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
I
not.
didn't think so.
These
I
people
didn't
are
think so.
criminals. These are criminals.
Yeah.
I have no feelings of connection to such folks. I mean,
In your face, guys. Issa wants no part
Yeah.
of you. I've been
heard-
saying
I heard,
Issa so much I was thinking about messing with you.
I heard Jordan Peterson talk about he had like a client before that used to do like the Al Zoot sort of film industry kind of things, and he said when he would get recognized by people, it's like he didn't like it made him just feel like a loser because like it's like the people that were his fans were like people that were like degenerates and things like that, and so it's like he had like some sort of fans, I guess, like that, some sort of fame in a particular industry or whatever you want to call it. But the people who would recognize him on the streets or whatever were just like completely degenerate. So it's like, it reminds me of these Talbot guys. It's like, you don't want them to be you don't want them to like be on your side or be like, hey, we support you. We like you. You don't want those types of people on your,
No. You have no certificates or diplomas. Bro, your prophet couldn't read. And that's what's amazing. I mean, that's what's really, I know that's disputed and so on, but the point is the dude definitely didn't have any degrees or formal training, academics and so on. So how do you use that as a criterion for whether you should listen to somebody?
That's an interesting point. I had brought this up to like my professor. I was like, why are we so focused on all this academia when these people weren't even academics themselves? The heroes of the ancient times were not like people with tons of degrees, and that's not what made them qualified, I think. And I think this is so strange that people like worship academia. They think that is the most important thing.
You're gonna really love Ali Dawah's review. You're gonna really love Ali Dawah's review, man. You're gonna love it.
Oh, hang on.
You're gonna love it. You'll know what I mean when you see it. You'll know what I mean.
Hey, look at this. David Kazashi says, we actually have someone using the scientific miracle argument in the chat, bro. Really? Where? Who's bringing it up?
Wow.
I'd love to take a look at it. Hey, whoever's using the scientific miracle argument, bring up your best one. Bring up your best one, and we'll take a peek at it. We'll take.
Oh, these things, like these Dawah guys, their fans are like, they didn't get the memo that like this is not in anymore, and so these Dawah guys fans, like I'm telling you, they still use this stuff. So yeah, bring it, guys. Bring your best arguments.
Yeah, that was what was really weird, man. Is you think, okay, even the Dawah guys admit that the argument was bogus and it was it's been destroyed. But then when we're going around to the schools and stuff like that, Columbus State and Ohio State and stuff like that, the regular Muslims are still using the scientific miracles.
It doesn't filter down. It doesn't.
That's what I mean. It's like we got more work to do. Everyone, we got more work to do, guys. We got more work to do. Yeah. Let's try
and they try their best to hide it too. Like with the Yasser Qadhi thing, like you pointed out the other day, the order was delete the comments and then delete the portion of the interview that was controversial and then delete the whole interview. Like they really try their best to suppress this stuff to their followers.
Yeah, they do. It's sad, but that's Dawah. D Wood, bro, Imam here is in the chat. Who's that? Bro, Imam?
Yeah, see, I told you we got a couple of
interesting. Hey, Imam. What's up, man? He should have asked, how would he feel if he didn't have breakfast that morning? What is that? I don't get what that's in a reference to.
Oh, maybe like the conditional or something. I mean, it's a conditional. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. I get it. Didn't Mo expect Jews and Christians to accept him as a prophet? Yes. 1093 is for them, and it fails because Islam is false. It's true. He did think it. Evening, Dr. Wood and Jai. Question: what are your favorite verses of the New Testament and Psalms? Mine is 1 Corinthians 13:4-8 and Psalm 59.
Nice. I feel like it's like, yeah.
I'm kind of old school with the Psalms. I like Psalm 23. Old school. And that passage in 1 Timothy 1, probably be my favorite in the New Testament, where Paul says, even though even though I was once a blasphemer and a persecutor and a violent man, I was shown mercy because I acted in ignorance and unbelief and so on. I like that. I like that whole passage.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's more like themes, like if I'm, it's like for this topic or for this topic. So I don't like overall. Oh, we are back.
Huh. That was interesting. It just shut it down, but it let me come back in, so I don't know. Was that a warning? Was that a warning, YouTube? What the heck was that?
It's a warning shot.
Was that a warning shot across the bow? That's why. Hey, that was weird. Uh-oh. Now I can't bring up the... No, it's only giving me the last... Yeah, it's only bringing up the last couple super chats. Whenever... It actually shut down, and now it's only bringing up the last...
Okay, guys. You need to resend all of your super chats.
No, there's still a few up here, but it's just the last... It's from this one on. It says, my mom did extensive genealogy and found Frank Baum, author of Wizard of Oz, was a third cousin. Oh, yeah, he wrote the book. I read that. Let's get through these real quick in case there's a war going on right now.
Yeah, there could be war.
In one of his streams, Rob Christian said it took 8 years for the satanic verses to be corrected. I always was under the impression it got corrected fast, but Muhammad committing and teaching shirk for 8 years is wild. I'd have to see the source on that because it does seem quick in the sources.
I've seen like 2 years. So it could be 2 to 8. It could be a range. But by the way, that was going to be another one of our topics this year too.
We have Issa come to Christ. Good advice for Issa. We have the greatest mystery. Why is Issa not a Christian? Why you guys want Issa on just to harass him constantly? In the end, we discover that Issa is actually an agent for a webcam company that tries out a new camera and a special campaign for every broadcast. Oh yeah, he does that, and a different background for everything. Would Duck Lips have a debate with Lil Tin John and pay $2,000 before having a discussion with D Wood that was supposedly boycotted? I don't know because
I didn't watch that, but I was told he just said like
I haven't watched it either.
Insult you. He said something like, "I'm just going to join to insult him the whole time." Like he said he didn't want to debate you.
Oh, really? Well, why the heck would I want to be part of that? No, I was just thinking. I was like, wait a minute. We had a debate scheduled. You backed out and said I'm boycotted, and then all of a sudden you post something saying, and I wasn't clear on what, because some people are saying, are you going to agree to the debate or are you going to agree to the discussion? But then the Muslims started sending me messages saying, hey, he wants to have a discussion on your channel. And I was thinking, these guys are pulling so many stunts right now with copyright strikes and stuff like that. These guys are pulling so many stunts right now. What stunt is this guy? That would make sense if he just wants to. But here's the thing. I don't have a problem if anyone wants to jump up and insult me because I go right after their fake profit. But here's the thing, guys. Oh. That's God Logic's call because someone else wanted to set up a debate. Malik wanted to set up a debate with, after Malik saying everyone's boycotted, Malik wanted to set up a debate with, what's his face, Ortho Duck Lips, and Avery was just like, don't mess with that dude. So anyway, I asked Avery, I was like, hey, is this guy blacklisted? He said, yeah, he's blacklisted for going after people's wives. So sorry, consequences.
By the way, there's some technical difficulties going on with YouTube. Some people are saying no sound. A lot of people are saying they can still hear us. So
Check.
seems like
Everyone refresh your page. I'm going to go ahead and listen real quick. I'm going to mute myself. You can talk
yeah,
about something
I
real
just
quick,
did the
Jack.
same thing, and it's I can hear us, but some like
I'm
two
just
or
going to
three
check.
people said
I'm just
like,
going to check. Let me see.
okay. All right, guys. So David is checking, doing a sound check. So if you guys can hear us, just let us know. Give us a yes or some kind of indication, like, yeah, we can hear you. So what's up, Issa? How you doing, man?
I am doing okay.
Doing
I'm
good.
getting ready to go to Kentucky to do like
Okay.
a service project. So I think it's gonna be really
All right.
cool. We're gonna
All right,
build like
guys.
houses and stuff.
You're not
Close
doing any
there.
of that
So
stuff.
it's
Come on, man. Quit patting yourself on the back every 5 seconds. I'm the best guy ever. Yeah, guys, I heard me. So if you're having problems hearing, then refresh your page. And if that doesn't work, then might be regional. Anyway, weird
I
stuff.
can hear you, but I needed to refresh. So obviously, yeah, let us. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so yeah. All right, guys. Any sound issues, just refresh your page. All right.
Let's see. It's a question to test whether the person you're talking with is intellectually capable of entertaining a hypothetical. Yeah. And hijab, sadly, not. An honest Muslim is an ex-Muslim. So what's up, Issa? I want to trust you. You seem so cool, man.
that's funny. I don't know what to say to that.
It's Issa. He sabotaged the stream. Goofy Sufi is a mole. Hey, that was pretty interesting timing there. We bring up Issa and all of a sudden everything shuts down.
Nice. Okay. It's like those like the presidential kind of when the president drives by, they have like these like signal blockers. Issa came in with the with the signal.
Oh, hey, you know what's funny? When I was in high school, I took electronics, and we had to actually build something. And I built a frequency jammer that jammed all radio frequencies within like 100 yards and stuff like that.
Wow.
That was classic D Wood,
Nice.
classic D Wood. D Wood with the frequency jammer. Did Israel just nuke David? That's a Syrian girl would say. Islam predicts Christians and Jews would accept them. Isaiah 53 predicts Jews would reject Christianity. Seems like a lot of predictions. Wait, 53. Oh, as far as yeah, we'd have to check that. With the stuff like who will believe this, who hath believed our report and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning? The meme is people will sometimes respond, what? I did eat breakfast. Oh, I get it. How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning? But I did eat breakfast this morning. They can't even understand the hypothetical. That is, okay, now I get it.
I could see Muhammad Hijab having a breakdown over that.
Muhammad Hijab, how would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast? But I did eat breakfast. Okay, Hijab, how would you feel if you weren't stoned out of your mind right now? But I am stoned out of my mind right now. Okay. In the year 2030, Islam will overtook Christianity.
Oh, that's your friend Allah only. Okay.
Yeah, the impact on people's ability to spell or know basic grammar would be seriously impacted. As soon as you refresh, you'll be fine, everyone. Yeah, that's what we've gathered. Put a 30 in the chat indicating the sound is good. That's what 30 means?
30.
No, 30.
30.
Had a Muslim on TikTok with African family. We had African Christian family. We had a Kuwaiti Muslim close to accepting Jesus. We told him to pray the DOC prayer in his room. A nice guy.
Nice. The DOC prayer. That's when she recommends that Muslims just like ask God, just ask the Lord, ask him if he's Jesus. Ask him, just ask him, ask God. What's God gonna get mad at you for asking? You're just asking. You want to know, So that's...
Hey, this is funny. If A, then B. A, therefore not B, Modus Jr. And that's exactly what his defense of Aisha was. He actually, it's a new logical, just massive problem.
Yeah.
But it's like, it defies any category of fallacy. It was so bad. So you just need a new junior fallacy. I speak Arabic. It's hilarious hearing Mohainik and Hijab slurring his speech in 2 languages. And that's cool. And David attacking their fundamentals. They attack David. They have no idea. Exactly. I've known that. Guys, that was, just so you know, that was the plan. I realized these guys react so emotionally to a critic of their religion that they go after the critic. And I've mentioned it before. I learned this from G.I. Joe. I should find the clip one day. But anyways, G.I. Joe. No, I think I posted the clip one day, so I must have had it. Anyways, G.I. Joe, they had Cobra training. So Cobra's the bad guys and stuff, but they were training the new recruits, and they had different Cobra experts training these guys. They had the ninja training them. They had these guys who are Australian. They were training them and stuff. But they told the new recruits, destroy that building. And everyone just starts shooting at the building. But the building's there, and they're just shooting at the building, shooting at the building, shooting at the building. And then the Dreadnoughts, that was their name. The group is called the Dreadnoughts. The Dreadnoughts, they push the guys out of the way, and the Dreadnoughts all start shooting at the foundation of the building. And after shooting for just a couple seconds at the foundation, the whole thing comes crashing to the ground. And they said, destroy the foundation, and the rest come tumbling down. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's going to be helpful in the future. Destroy the foundation. So, guys, the dream scenario to be in, I realized over time, is if I'm going after the foundations of your religion or your ideology or whatever it is, and you're attacking me, you already lost. You already lost that battle. You're going. I'm of no consequence in the grand scheme of things, right? I'm just a guy. You could spend your entire life destroying me until I'm just crushed to powder. You have not hurt Christianity at all. But if in the course of you wreaking havoc on me for my entire life, I crush your foundations, you already lost, guys. You lost as soon as you came up with that brilliant plan. But I realize they're locked into it. They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. They will dedicate their entire lives to attacking a person. And if you're really good at getting their attention and making these guys obsessed, they'll just ignore the foundation and just go after you. And it's got to use that.
Yeah, I remember one of your older videos. You said like, yeah, guys, 100 years from now, I'm not going to be around. I don't know who's going to remember me in 100 years. But all the videos I'm doing about Muhammad, those will still be relevant. All the videos you guys are doing about me or whatever.
Points. Yeah, the points. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're like, who's David Wood?
Yeah, right.
Moral truths are a subset of scientific truths in the sense that claims about human relationships and psychology are testable. That's still a really weird. That's not something. No, bull, right? If you say anything that's testable is scientific, that's too broad a definition of science. It's like if I say the Quran's claim that Dhul Qarnayn was a devout monotheist is testable. We can look at history. That doesn't mean it's a scientific question. It's not. So anyway, sorry. Jai, where's DOC? We miss her, brother.
Well, hopefully you guys will see her soon. Hopefully you'll see her soon.
Hey guys, what would you study if you dropped going after Islam? What would you go with next? Well, I'm interested in almost anything more than I'm interested in Islam. I just think that this is an issue that needs to be dealt with. But I'm
whatever God has for us.
Yeah, I'm more interested in biology. I'm more interested in psychology. I'm more interested in the arguments of atheists and so on. So pretty much anything.
Psychology, huh? Because we're gonna see some psychological breakdown from Ali Dawah today. So we're gonna see some expert analysis on Avery's psychology. That's basically Ali Dawah's whole point in this video. Yeah. So it's going to be a fun time.
All right. Well, let's get to it. We have I Feel Ancient with D Wood explaining G.I. Joe. Am I really that old? Oh, if you remember, yeah, then I'm worried about some of these young bucks being, I saw the G.I. Joe movie. And who did it have?
Oh, it was actually a TV show. I remember there was like
No, they had movies. They had movies like live action movies at some point. I don't even remember who was in them and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah.
I remember like the little toys. It's like...
Are you guys aware that Mo Hijab has revealed that he has a brain tumor? Ali Dawah talked about it on his podcast called Let's Play a Game. The video on YouTube is called I Couldn't Handle It. Interesting.
Yeah. Yep. That accounts for a lot of his behavioral problems.
He told AP that a couple years ago in a private discussion and stuff like that. The issue is these guys are such liars. It's just, I can't trust you, because if you're embarrassing yourself and saying all kinds of stupid stuff, you could just say, I have a brain tumor. as like an explanation for
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, so he's not the only Dawah guy who talks about having a medical condition, and some of the Dawah guys who do that, one in particular I'm thinking of, he like kind of blames his condition for why he's so evil. I haven't seen Hijab do that yet, but maybe he'll start blaming it on that. But it seems to be that he doesn't think he's doing evil, I think, so maybe he doesn't think to blame it on that. But that does explain a lot of things, like when we see him looking like he's high or drunk, could be medicated or something. And of course, depending on where it is in his brain, it could affect behavior and things like that too. But we don't know too much about it. We just heard him say it. So,
and the weird thing is, like, these guys are such compulsive liars. Not all the Dawah guys. If Sajid said it or something like this or something like that, I believe Sajid. If Fareed said it, I believe Fareed. But the guys who are chronic compulsive liars, it's just like anything you tell us, I can't trust it. And then, yo, chat, don't forget to zoot the like button. Yeah, got to do that. Hey, it's Allah, only amazing God again. Quranic Jesus is more accurate than the Bible. Yeah, take every word spoken by Jesus in the Quran and find any first century evidence for it, buddy. Do it. Try it and see what happens. It's more accurate. What you mean is, I'm a Muslim and, oh, isn't it amazing? The Jesus of the Quran matches up with Islam better. Yeah, shocker.
So this is actually a very important point that's being brought up. I was going to do my dissertation on Jesus, actually, through a Christian, Jewish, and Muslim perspective. And when I was doing my research for the Muslim perspective, there's not much. There's very, very little information. So I think it proves a certain kind of position that if you're a Muslim, you have to go to the gospel to know who Jesus is. You can't just use the Quran as a source. You don't really know who Jesus is if you read the Quran. Like, for example, what kind of culture did he come from? You don't know any of it. You have some stories that are there, like the clay birds, John the Baptist, virgin birth, but that's not a really comprehensive narrative. So when a person says something like this,
it's just something they're taught to. It's just something they're taught to say.
Yeah,
and it's just
it's an implicit confirmation of the Islamic dilemma, though, because what he's saying is that what the Quran teaches about Jesus is different than what the Bible teaches about Jesus. Ooh. But that same Quran confirms what the Bible says. So.
Kind of a problem. Seems like a problem. Yeah, and hey, Allah, only amazing God. Quranic Jesus more accurate than the Bible. Do you believe the Quran denies the crucifixion of Jesus? Because that's, apart from just his existence, that's the thing that is most historically verified about Jesus, is that he died by crucifixion. So if you're getting that wrong in the Quran, you're not even getting the most glaringly obvious fact about Jesus right. And then the other things, giving life to clay birds and speaking at birth, these come from way later sources that no scholar on the planet takes seriously as historically reliable. And by the way, at the scholarly level, they know where the Quran is getting these stories from. So what you actually have is like what happens with Alexander the Great. Muhammad just took everyone who's famous during not during his time, but people who were previous generation, but they were famous during his time, and he just says they're all Muslims. Why? Because there are enough stupid people in the world to go, yep, good point. Alexander the Great, devout monotheist, yes, yes, even a prophet of Allah. Really, really sad. Really, really sad.
I would add one. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to add one, and I think a really important point too. This is something that I've been seeing and I'm not understanding, and it's the position that folks are saying. Well, they're saying they're trying to go with this position that the Bible is corrupted, and if you take that position to its fruition, how do you look at all these protagonists? Well, I think the only way you can really look at them is sort of like if you play like a role-playing video game. They're kind of like glorified NPCs. Those little characters that you talk to, they have like one sentence and they repeat the same sentence every time you come and talk to them. That's who all these heroes are. They're just a background character. They're not real. They have no substance. They're a background character that you basically project whatever you want onto them. And that's it. They don't have any real substance. And it's really problematic if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, and Allah, only amazing God. Here's what you should be wondering, right? The Jesus of the Quran, in spite of Muhammad just trying to turn him into a Muslim like he did with everyone else, including Alexander the Great, the pagan of all pagans. What you should be wondering is, even though Muhammad's just trying to turn Jesus into a devout Muslim prophet, why is he so different from every other prophet, right? Jesus is the word of Allah. Muhammad's not the word of Allah. Jesus is the word of Allah. He's a spirit from Allah. He's born of a virgin. He lives the most miraculous life in history. He even creates in the same way Allah creates in the Quran. How does Allah create man? He fashions him out of clay or dirt or whatever you want to go with, because there are different passages say different things. He makes him, and then he breathes the spirit into him. And then Jesus says, hey, I can do that too. And he fashions a bird out of clay and breathes into it, and then the bird comes alive and so on. And so he even creates the same way Allah creates. And then Muhammad, who was killed, he was poisoned by a Jewish woman and then dies from it. But Allah won't allow that to happen to Jesus. Jesus is the Messiah. Jesus is going to return to judge and so on. Why is Jesus so shockingly unique? And the only answer I get is, Allah knows best.
That's what you're going to get, guys.
Well, guess what? Jesus being this unique makes sense in Christianity. It doesn't make sense in Islam. So, Hazem is the one defending scientific miracles. Oh, come on, Hazem. Come on, Hazem. Come on, man. This is the thing about Surah 53. I was referring to, surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we esteemed him stricken, smitten by God, and afflicted. And similar in Isaiah 53. Yeah, but I would interpret that as if you see a guy being crucified, you're thinking, oh, this guy's being punished. Not, oh, this is, for our salvation or something like that. So I don't know if that's a prophecy about like future generations or something. I've heard the Psalms are all classic pre-1994. David almost said G.I. Jew. Why'd you mention Malik? Yeah, Malik. Mossad. Mossad Malik. Science is broader than white. You still defending this? Science is broader than white coats and test tubes. It is systemic method of obtaining knowledge of natural world of which humans are a part. Well, then then there's no.
So everything is science.
History. It's all.
We're doing science on the stream right now.
Yeah, dude, not interested. Go argue that. Yeah. It's not. You can define science however you want. I'm saying I reject. Yeah. I'm not defining science that way as any kind of learning about anything or something like that. It's just you're not helping science by defining science that way. You're destroying like the meaning of science, right? But if you make a term so broad that it encompasses everything, okay, now the word just doesn't do a whole lot in our language. All right, we're ready to jump into this.
One thing, remember when we had our conversation, in Texas?
Debate.
That was the point our debate. The thing that was really powerful, I think, in our debate was about, you would ask this question. It's like, is this scientific position true? And I was like, if that's true, then that would actually take away from what the Quran is trying to communicate. If we're looking at the Quran in the way that the Quran is communicating, it's supposed to be like promoting a spiritual paradigm. If we impose if we put an eisegesis into it and we put science into it, it will take away from its actual original meaning. And it won't actually make sense. The text won't make sense if you try to project science within it.
Oh yeah, you're talking about like Quran passages where like the point is, we're talking, one of those scientific miracles. Yeah, Hazem, if you're defending these dumb scientific miracle arguments, Issa's making an important point there, that if you take like the passage where it's a response to people who are doubting the resurrection, and the response to people doubting the resurrection is, wait, you don't believe that God can put you back together? Do you have any idea how you were put together to begin with? It's pretty amazing that you start off as like almost nothing and then you become a living being, and you're doubting the resurrection when that's how you were made to begin with. That's the point. And they'll be like, oh, look, and it's a scientifically accurate description of how humans are formed and how embryology works. No, it's not. But that's not the point. And I seriously, if you guys weren't making the scientific miracle argument, I actually wouldn't have a problem with it getting embryology a little wrong, because I would agree with the point, right? Like, if you're just saying, come on, God's going to put us back together, that sounds so far-fetched. Think about how you're made to begin with. That would seem pretty far-fetched if you didn't know what happened already. Anyway, Yeah, wild stuff. And then we had a couple more. I was finally ready to jump into it. Hang on, let's see these last ones. And no empirical investigation can establish the truth of universal human rights and value. That's kind of the issue. Like you can test moral claims in the sense of, does this work better or something like that? Does this, does living like this or following this rule do this? But that just pushes it back to, do you have a moral obligation to do this? And if you said, yeah, well, because it would help with this, okay, then it would be, do you have a moral obligation to do that? You can't reduce this stuff to science, and I don't know many philosophers who think you can do that because it just doesn't work. And D Wood, you seem to have some understanding of psychology. Opinions on MBTI? I don't know what the heck that is. Well, I don't know anything about psychology. Well, no, I do.
I think it's the Myers-Briggs test, right?
Oh, yeah, okay. I recommend. Yeah. Okay. Is that the Myers-Briggs something inventory? I thought that was a personality inventory. I don't know what that is. I recommend looking into Objective Personality System by Dave and Sean Powers. It's an MBTI-based personality typing system.
I know Jordan Peterson has some critiques of it. He has his own kind of one that he promotes. But that is, it's a popular one.
All right. And then D Wood is late, yet following his tardiness, he will be early in 3 to 9 streams. I get that. The whole matter lies with AP. He gives tardiness to whom he wills. Guys, if you get the joke, you get it. If not, I'm not explaining it for you. All right. We got to jump into this. So this is Ali Dawah's damage control video. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Hijab had a debate with Avery yesterday, and Mohammed Hijab, you are my brother in Islam, and I love you for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But I have to be honest here, guys. Absolutely honest. I know there's going to be some biases, etc., but we have to be honest, and we have to give credit to Avery where credit is due. For you, some of you guys, this might come as a shock. Like, Ali, what are you talking about? Well, guys, Allah says to us in the Quran, be firm and upholders of justice.
I'm sorry, guys.
You probably already know where he's... Oh.
No. No, you can tell Ali Dawah when he's acting like he's going in one direction when he's not. But I just had to bring this up. This is so Hazem. Come on, dude. You seem like a good dude, but did you know in Surah Naba, the Quran describes mountains as pegs or stakes with deep roots, just as we now know in modern geology? Are you kidding me, dude? Do you want to know what the Quran's view? Do you want to know what the early Islamic view from the Quran and the early commentaries and the hadith, when you put it all together? Do you know what the point of the mountains as tent pegs is? Do you want to know what happens when you put it all together? At the bottom of everything, well, there's stuff below that too, but at the bottom, like everything we have, there's a giant fish down there, fish or whale, right? The giant fish or whale. And on top of that fish or whale are 7 earths that are stacked up like pancakes, and they're all flat. And there's a 200-year journey in between each one of these flat earths stacked up like pancakes. And it's not clear what 200-year journey is. Is that walking? Is that riding a camel? Even in a spaceship, it doesn't matter. It's wrong, right? So you have these 7 earths stacked up like pancakes. And you have the top earth, which is our earth. It's a big flat earth. And all the way out on the side it's the place where the sun sets. And it's interesting, you go to the early commentators and stuff, and they said things like they think there are 360 different pools where the sun sets, and it sets into a different one each day and stuff. Just really, really wild stuff. But I won't hold you that. We'll only hold you what the Quran says. But anyway, the sun sets way out here over on the side, and then it works its way under and stuff like that, and then it pops up on the other side. But anyway, you got the top earth, the top earth, which is our earth, and then you have this dome over top of it, but there are 7 domes, and Allah has to actually hold them up because they'll fall on the earth. They'll fall on the earth if they don't. And in the lowest dome, that's where you have all the stars. So the stars are actually really close to us, and it shouldn't be too terrifying. Because, if the sun is fine going down into a pool around us, as long as you're not too close to it, you're good. But you have all the stars, and occasionally when people try to sneak up and listen to Allah's plans, Allah grabs one of those stars and hurls them, and that's when you see a shooting star. You see a shooting star, that's because Allah grabbed a star and hurled it at someone. But anyway, as far as the Quran being, the Quran talking about the mountains as tent pegs, one, it's complete nonsense, right? You have tectonic plates, and they push up against each other, and this causes things to rise, and you get mountains and so on. In the Quran, Allah actually hammers the mountains down as tent pegs. Why? Yeah. Because that giant fish it becomes agitated, sometimes starts flopping around. That's where you get earthquakes. So to stabilize the top earth, Allah hammers down these mountains as tent pegs to try and stabilize it. Are you seriously telling us that's supposed to blow our minds to go, wow, this is exactly what modern science predicts?
Yeah. It's like the exact opposite. The result of why Mount exist is the exact opposite from what the Quran says. Apart from, like you said, the whale and things like that.
Okay,
But
so
not to
Hazem.
hold- it's not. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hazem, go try this with some of your fellow Dawah buddies or something like that. It's not going to work here. We've been through this tons and tons of times. So we kind of like you, Hazem, but yeah, we'd rather listen to Ali Dawah because we don't just make fun of you. We want to make fun of Ali Dawah. Let's see.
Even if it's against yourself. Let's watch it for ourselves, and I'm going to be giving my criticism, and I'm going to be giving Avery credit where it is due. And any Muslim that disagrees with this, you have issues within yourself. Inshallah. Let's watch the video, inshallah.
The Quran says, وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُم. The Quran clearly is responding to a biblical narrative. It's clearly responding to a Christian narrative. It's saying they did not kill him, they did not crucify him. وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُم. It was made to appear as if they did. So the question is this.
So that is correct. Yep, that is correct. Hijab is right that the Quran is acknowledging by saying that they did not kill him nor did they crucify him, which in return, logically and rationally, follows that the Quran is aware, whoever the author is, Allah or the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that the Christians say A, the Quran is saying no, it's not saying that. It's rejecting
Christians,
that and saying no, this is what actually happened.
This is so stupid.
It's like they don't even read the verse before they comment on it. So it's the Quran's responding to what the Christians say. Is that what the verse says?
No. Ali Dawah, have you even read the Quran? He says, it's responding to what the Christians say. No, that was a response to what Jews were saying. Yeah. Jews were saying, we killed the Messiah. And they was, we killed the Messiah. The son of, we killed the Messiah, the, what is it, prophet?
Yeah, messenger of Allah.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, this is
weird,
supposed
like
to be
Jews
a narrative,
would be calling him,
a biblical narrative. Yeah.
Yeah, so
narrative.
it's responding, and it's specifically responding to what Jews say. The Jews say, we killed Christ Jesus, the messenger of Allah, but they killed him not nor crucified him. Ali Dawah says, you see, they're responding to the Christians because they knew the Christians were saying this. Guess what? In reality, you had heretical Christians who were saying things that they got from the Gnostics and the Docetists as well, who were saying that Jesus wasn't crucified. It only was made to appear that way. But this is the issue, because Muhammad, if he hears one guy saying, oh, yeah, I'm a Christian, I don't believe Jesus died by crucifixion, God just made it appear that way. And here's other Christians, Jesus died by crucifixion. He doesn't know what's in the book. He just knows some people are saying one thing, some people are saying something else. And what ends up in the Quran is this Gnostic and Docetist view, which Muslims don't even know where this comes from. Guys, it is so insanely stupid. It is so insanely stupid to take this as a serious position. But the Gnostics and the Docetists came up with a view that Jesus was only divine. So you have people who believe Jesus was just a human being. You have Christians who believe Jesus is the God-man. Then you had this weird heretical movement that combined with philosophy and so on, and they believe Jesus was only divine. He never actually became a man. Well, Christians raised the objection, if Jesus was never actually had a human body, he was only divine, he never actually became incarnate, how is he crucified? Explain that one then. Explain how he was crucified if he didn't have a body. And then, oh, yeah. God just made it look like he was crucified.
Yeah.
Okay, so they came up with the position because they only believe Jesus was divine. And then Muslims who want to believe Jesus is only a mere human being, they use the same point because Muhammad didn't understand. But keep in mind, this is just a stupid response. So guys, they're trying... Ali Dawah just skipped over like almost everything in the debate and got to the point where Muhammad Hijab is going with the conscious edits response to the Islamic dilemma. Allah is clearly arguing against the book. So he can't be confirming them. He's arguing against them. And guess what? No, he's not. He's responding to what people say. He's not responding to the documents because he doesn't know what's in the documents. He's responding to what people are claiming. And Surah 4, verse 157 is specifically a response to Jews who are claiming they had exposed Jesus as a false prophet and a false Messiah because they had crucified him, which couldn't have happened if he were really the Messiah. And the Quran responds to what Jews are saying. And Ali Dawah takes it and says, you see, Allah is very clearly aware that the Bible says that Jesus died by crucifixion. And he's refuting the Christians on this point. And you sound like an idiot, Ali Dawah.
I'm trying to think of an analogy, but it's extremely difficult to do this for the Quran because there's like almost no original idea to the Quran. So it's like you can't. It's like, so imagine. Okay, so what's going on here is you have what actually happened in history is what the Bible records, which is that Jesus was crucified, and then you have people a bunch of people talking about it, and you have people testifying to it in different writings and literatures, like early historians and Greco-Roman works and things like that, and then even in Jewish works as well, they're talking about this this Jesus, and so then you have Muhammad, hundreds of years later, different language, different everything, different culture. He hears people talking about Jesus being crucified. And so the idea is that from Muhammad Hijab's head is that, okay, you have people talking about it. There's only one place where he's thinking that there's only one place where this is ever talked about. So therefore it must be correct in the biblical narrative, even though it doesn't say it's correct in the biblical narrative. So I was trying to think of an analogy for like the Quran, where it's like someone says something that the Quran talks about, but they get it completely wrong. But there's almost nothing original to the Quran where because every example I'm thinking of, I'm like, oh, that's actually in the Talmud. Oh, that's actually over here. Oh, that's actually over here. So you can't really do that with the Quran. But the idea is that just because the Bible talks about this and they're talking about this, that therefore they're representing exactly what the Bible says, when they're not, because the Bible doesn't actually record that anywhere that Jews believed that they killed the Messiah. And that was the proof that he wasn't the Messiah. That doesn't. This is something that the Quran says in response to what Jews are saying, not in response to what the Bible says. So there's a difference, and Muhammad Hijab doesn't get it, no matter how many times Avery points it out. So it's not correcting the Bible. It's not even correcting Christians or what Christians believe about the crucifixion. It's correcting or responding to what some Jews are saying. And you can still read the Quran in a way, some Muslims do this, which is compatible with there still being a crucifixion. So it's like the idea would be like, okay, the Jews didn't kill him or crucify him. Actually, it was Allah's will for him to be killed and crucified. So it was Allah who did it. But he's denying the Jews, like, you guys weren't the ones who did it. Allah, he's the one who did it. And if you go to chapter 8, verse 17 in the Quran, there's kind of similar sort of thinking there, which is like, okay, yeah, you guys were in, Badr, you guys were doing this war, you guys were, killing people, but it wasn't you that was killing people, it was Allah that was killing people. So, but if you were to like use a time machine and go back in time, you would see the Muslim armies were the ones killing people, but Allah's saying, you didn't do that, I did that. So some have taken this part of the Quran where it's like the Jews didn't crucify him or kill him. Allah is the one who did it. And I don't know of any like ancient sources that say that, but I know that there's some like modern, Muslims who take that view. And
there's always been a minority Muslim position that the Quran isn't actually denying the crucifixion there.
Right. Correct. Yeah. But what I mean is like, so you don't, there's nothing in that to say like even denying the crucifixion outright. So therefore, it's no way correcting or editing what the Bible says or correcting what the Bible says. It's just talking about a specific group of people, the Jews, and maybe a narrative that they were responsible for. Does it talk about the Romans at all? Does it say the Romans didn't? No. Does it say Allah didn't do it? No, it doesn't talk about them.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, and Ismaili Shias.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, their standard position of Ismaili Shias is that Jesus was crucified, and they go with Surah 3, verse 55, and they point out that something else is going on in 4:157. But yeah, this is one of the biggest problems with showing people how silly and stupid Dawah is that the people responding to arguments, Ali Dawah and Muhammad Hijab, they don't even understand what the heck you're saying. And they give these stupid responses. And then their followers don't understand anything, right? Their followers just, this is my guy, so I will side with him. And they don't understand anything. They don't understand anything. And they go with like, no, Allah is clearly attacking the Bible and saying the Bible is wrong while affirming it. Okay, then Allah would just be insane. He'd be saying, I demand that you obey your Bible, which I'm consciously editing to take away all the errors and so on. So that's just ridiculous nonsense. And if you want to know our actual position is the author of the Quran, he doesn't know what's in the books. Muhammad is the ear. He only goes by what people are saying. He thinks the books agree with him. And when he hears someone saying something he disagrees with, he criticizes what they say, which is what the Quran says over and over again. He's responding to what people say. He's responding to what the Christians say. He's responding to what the Jews say. And whenever Allah says something that contradicts what the Jews or Christians are saying, these guys say, well, he's refuting their text. No. The position of the Quran is that Jews and Christians are constantly misrepresenting what their texts say. So he's exposing these guys as liars. He never claims to be correcting one word of the text at all.
Exactly.
And so this would be another example of IP's argument that he calls the clear Quran dilemma. But the idea here would be, if Allah is trying to correct the text, which he constantly affirms, and when he's correcting the text, he says he's just responding to what people say because these people misrepresent the text, and so he's correcting. He's hopelessly unclear. He's trying to correct the text, but he says he's just responding to what they say because they lie about their text. And it's just, okay, then he's a terrible communicator. He claims to be responding to people who are misrepresenting the text, but he's really correcting the text. That's okay. And you could explain that. I guarantee you could explain that 1,000 times in a row to Ali Dawah. He would not understand it. He's too stupid. And what do you think about his followers who look up to him as some genius? This is sad and pathetic, but let's go on.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. No, I just so everyone is like, this is the argument. Okay. So the argument, so Avery's making the case that the Quran is affirming the Bible, the Quran appeals to the Bible's authority, that the Quran speaks about the Bible's preservation, inspiration, etc. And so Muhammad Hijab's thinking, okay, well, there's instances in the Quran where it disagrees with the Bible. And so instead of thinking like what we're thinking, which is that proves the Quran is wrong because it affirms a book that it contradicts, he's thinking, no, actually this is a conscious edit. So the Quran knows what the Bible says. And the example he goes to is chapter 4, verse 157. So the idea that in Muhammad Hijab's head, he's saying that, okay, you're saying the Bible is being confirmed by the Quran. But in the Quran, it's talking about the crucifixion. The Bible teaches the crucifixion. The Quran talks about the crucifixion, and it says that Jesus wasn't crucified, he wasn't killed. So therefore, the Quran is correcting the Bible, and there's no, confirmation like wholesale. It's just like partial confirmation, the whole parts kind of language that he likes to talk about. The problem is that chapter 4, verse 157 is talking about what the Jews say. It's not talking about what the Bible says. And there are actually other examples that Muslims go to where, it's still not talking about what the Bible says, but this is just a terrible, it's just, could make a better case than, with this verse. It's still wrong. Like, you don't have a case in the Quran for conscious edits at all, but this is like one of the worst examples you could go to.
Yeah, pretty bad.
When you say this is bid'ah, this is innovation. This is just an innovative position completely. And if it was the case, I would present my other argument from before, which is if the Quran is trying to consciously edit the Bible, first we'd have to prove there's a lot of things that we need to have in place. If you're saying the Bible is corrupted, then the Bible is untrustworthy, so there can't be conscious edits because we don't actually know what's true and what's not. The whole text would be murky. Then secondly, if the Quran's goal is to correct this text, the Quran should be like the Talmud. It should be multiple volumes of a text, right? It should have multiple volumes, hundreds of pages. The Quran is 114 chapters. Some of the chapters are as long as a paragraph. So I'm like, it's a very short text. And I brought this up before. The Quran uses refrains because the genre that the Quran is poetry, right? So it uses the refrains over and over again. Like, what of the favors of your Lord shall ye deny? Your faith is, you would worship what I don't worship, and I don't worship what you don't worship. You see this over and over again. If the Quran's goal is to do this type of thing that is being claimed, I mean, wouldn't you cut out all these refrains? Wouldn't you just say, let's get rid of all the poetic refrains and focus conscientiously on correcting the text and give specifics? It's like, for example, you have the story, the chapter of the prophet Joseph, right? I compared them text by text from the book of Genesis or Bereshit with the Surah Yusuf. Surah Yusuf has no specifics in it. Like, it doesn't tell us who the brothers are. It doesn't tell us locations. It doesn't tell us much of anything in specifics. If there was a conscientious edit, as these people are arguing, wouldn't it specifically engage these points? These arguments don't make sense. It's just like I'm arguing for the sake of arguing without actually providing a logical evidentiary position for it. That's what I would say.
And I would just add as a little side point, according to the verse as it's understood by people like Ali Dawah and Muhammad Hijab, why do Christians believe Jesus died by crucifixion? Is it because Paul made it up or something like that? Is the Council of Nicaea, according to their interpretation of 4157? No. According to them, Allah made everyone think that Jesus died by crucifixion. He made it look that way. He took someone else, disguised him, miraculously, made him look like Jesus. Then this other person is put on the cross. He's crucified, but everyone thinks it's Jesus. And then it ends up in the gospel. Okay, so according to them, Allah is consciously editing his own corruption of the gospel. He's the one who corrupted the gospel. It wasn't Paul. It wasn't the Council of Nicaea. It wasn't Christians. Allah is the one, according to them, who tricked people into believing Jesus died. And so why did people believe Jesus died? Because Allah tricked them all. And then Allah comes along, Muhammad, and he consciously edits that and says, ha-ha, you guys got it wrong. But instead of telling the Christians, ha-ha, I tricked you, now you need to get it right and just believe Muhammad, he says he's responding to the Jews who are boasting about killing the Messiah. So anyway, this conscious edits theory, Allah would be correcting his own corruption of the gospel, according to them. That's some weird stuff, guys, but this is where your position leads. All right.
By the way, your buddy Allah Only Amazing God said you guys watch too much Hollywood Jesus movies. So it's your Quran that's presenting this, like David said, this kind of drama where Allah performs this kind of big deceptive act, and then 600 years later, different language, different culture, and all this stuff, no relation to the land of Israel or to the Jewish people, the prophets, and he comes along and he now edits this out of existence. So this is kind of like the act of Allah 1 and 2. So it's not a Jesus Hollywood movie. This is what your Quran says.
Yeah, look at this. You guys watch too much Hollywood Jesus movies. This is what we're talking about the Quran. You're saying the Quran is a Hollywood Jesus movie? It's what your book says. Allah, Only Amazing God. Where did Christians get the idea? Why did the early Christians believe that Jesus died by crucifixion? Because he didn't, according to you, right? He didn't die by crucifixion. Okay, they must have concluded that he died by crucifixion for some reason, right? Because it became foundational to Christianity. There is no Christianity without belief in Jesus' death by crucifixion. Where do we get that idea? According to... What's that?
I wanted to make a quick comment. It's something that arose in my mind about this. And it's like a small thing that I keep seeing all the time. And it's like a lot of Muslims keep saying, we're the only religion that does this. Like when I was having a debate with Nadir.
You're a little quiet. You're a little quiet, Issa.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, just point that a little closer to you. There you
go. Okay, can you hear me? Does that work better?
Yeah.
Yeah, so much better.
Some of these Muslims keep saying we're the only, our text is the only, our thing is the only, and then when you actually push back, it's like a house of cards. It's like they never done any research. They just assume that it's the only. They're like, well, our text is the only text that's been preserved. Can you prove that? Can you show every single text? Do you know every religious text? Do you know what the Avesta is? Do you know what the Tripodicaa is? They probably have no idea what these texts even are. You know what I mean? So they will go and say,
do you know what the true unity is, though?
What you actually find is it's amazing. I've never seen anything like this. It's just they mindlessly go with whatever their Dawah guy says, no matter how ridiculous it is, no matter how contrary to it. It doesn't even have to, it's not just that it's just contrary to all of the previous scriptures. It's contrary to the Quran even, and they don't care. Like when we point out, hey, the Quran affirms the previous scriptures. No, why are you denying it? Why are you denying? Because it's not what you heard from your Dawah guy. It's just sad and pathetic, guys. I don't know. You will believe your Dawah. If you say, here's what Allah said, and you show that it contradicts what the Dawah guy said, the Dawah fans will go with the Dawah guy 100% of the time. They do not even care what the actual text says. And according to Muhammad himself, that means you worship your Dawah guy, not Allah. And you might want to think about that because you guys don't seem to care a whole lot. But anyway, let's check out Ali Dawah here.
Let's carry on.
Is the Quran with this verse, وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُم, is it aware of what is being said by Christians? Is this correct that they say that
it's aware of what's being said by Christians, yes. But it's not even a response to Christians. It's a response to what Jews are saying. But I'm sure Muhammad's aware that Christians are saying Jesus died. So I'll go ahead and grant that. But
just know what their verses.
Yeah. Killed and crucified. Is that correct representation? And is it then correcting that or not? Yes or no?
Okay, I believe that is a valid question from Hijab in this specific segment. It's a valid question. Is it yes or no? So let's see what Avery had to say. And let's be just Muslims. We have to be fair and we have to be just.
Beautiful. So now I get to fully answer. So this is notice the difference. The answer is yes. Here's a quick answer to yes. Yes, it is correcting what people say. Yeah, now we're talking.
Correcting what people say.
Now, what Avery said there, I'll be honest with you, that's why you saw the whole demeanor of Muhammad Hijab completely change. And
because Hijab is stupid.
Yeah.
You hear that? Guys, and we got to get through this, so we're gonna have to. But
okay.
Everyone needs to understand the gist here. Hijab, after getting just completely cooked on Quran verses that affirm the Bible, and there are even ones Hijab's going to, but he doesn't understand them, and he's just flat out making things up about what words mean and stuff. And Avery just destroys him. Hijab has to go with conscious edits. That even though Allah doesn't say he's correcting the scriptures, he's clearly correcting the scriptures anyway because he's contradicting them and therefore he's deliberately correcting them, right? So if he's saying something that contradicts the Bible, he must be correcting the Bible, right? That's the claim. And then he asks Avery, so is it clear that he's contradicting what these Christians are saying? Avery says, yes, it is, yes. He's responding to what they're saying. And Hijab, he agreed with me. No, he corrected you. You're saying he's responding to the text. Allah says that he's correcting what they say, and Avery points out he is correcting what they say. And Ali Dawah, whoa, it's so powerful. Muhammad Hijab's whole demeanor changed. Well, was it really bad before that? And then this brightened his day, him not understanding what the heck Avery was saying because he's too stupid to understand it?
It's like, and it's like, so not only does Muhammad Hijab not get it, but Ali Dawah doesn't get it either.
And it's just sad, guys. That's Dawah. Blindly.
Which we're going to observe very closely.
Yeah, very closely.
Because he just realized the biggest mistake he made in his life. And that's why I say this to Avery. And I'm going to come to my criticism as well, the other stuff as well. Is that Avery, look, me and you, I think we're on the same grounding. Like, you have no degrees, etc. I'm not. Look, me and you, we're on the same footing. Yes? Okay.
Are you freaking kidding me?
No, you're not.
Avery is 1,000 times smarter than you.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me, Ali? We're on the same ground because we don't have credit. Okay, Avery is way, way, way more intelligent than you. You don't even understand what he says. That's how dumb you are. And that's why he cooked you when you're like, yo, here's my argument. Yo, a square. Yo, no, this don't be a triangle, right? And you sounded like an idiot to everyone.
He's going to bring that up, by the way. He's going to bring that up.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
I don't know if it's now, but he brings it up eventually.
I'm going to come to your psychology of why you're doing this. Because I'll be honest with you, have you seen me behave like you? I know my place, bro. I don't speak to certain Christians who are very well versed, etc. Because you know why? I don't want to make Islam look bad by acting. It's not about me. It's about Islam. I'm going to come to my criticism of your side.
This the guy who has smiles to Jenna, graping him in the mouth.
Yep.
Guys, I mean actual grapes. I don't mean like what we normally mean by grape. He actually like has smiles to Jenna. I thought it must have been his wife or something like that, because I wouldn't want some dude feeding me grapes and stuff. Like, you just see a hand plopping grapes in his mouth. Anyway, oh yeah, because I don't want to embarrass myself. Oh my goodness.
And why you're doing this in a minute. That's a bit later. But you just admitted, Avery, that it is correcting. Do you just understand what you've done, Avery? To not only yourself, to Christianity and this Islamic dilemma argument. You shot yourself in the foot, and I'll be honest with you, I'll be using this till the day I die, that you admitted on camera to Hijab that there's a correction. The moment you said that, your whole argument of the Islamic dilemma is in the bin.
What?
Without being biased, it is in the
Muhammad Hijab not understanding what you're saying, and you agreeing that Muhammad is responding to what people is saying, and Muhammad Hijab not understanding it, and think you say that he's correcting the text, and Muhammad Hijab being too stupid and me being too stupid. That's it. That's the end of your career. The Islamic dilemma is over. Yeah. For anyone who's as stupid as you. But fortunately, that's not most people in the world. Most people are massively smarter than you. Hey, look at this. Allah, only amazing God says, we have only one Father, whom is Allah in heaven, created everything.
What?
I'm going to give you two little pieces of advice here. One, it's who is Allah? Who is Allah? It's not whom. Learn the, Okay. Base. If you don't know, if you're not sure whether to go with who or whom, just figure out what pronoun you would use. If you would use he, then go with who, right? So you would say he is Allah. He is Allah, right? So just to be clear. All right. So there's that. And then, according to Surah 19, the entire universe is ready to fall apart because you called Allah Father. And so might not want to be telling us about your religion when you're in a lot of trouble with Allah right now.
It's rubbish. Let's carry on.
It's correcting what they say, not what the scriptures say, but the Christians and the Jews. So notice how. Let me land. I let you speak.
To be fair, I'm glad Ali Dawah actually played it for anyone who has more brain power than he does. They would be like, oh, he's completely correct here.
Yeah, he still doesn't go on.
So thank you. I appreciate
Doesn't get it.
So notice the difference. At first, you are arguing that Muhammad is aware of what the scripture says and is correcting the scripture, not just what the Jews and Christians say. But you just changed your question to, is Muhammad aware of what the Christians say and is therefore correcting what the Christians say? And the answer to that is yes. Unbeknownst to him, that what they are saying is actually in the Injil, in the gospel. So Muhammad is going against the Christians, unknowingly going against the gospel.
So
and here's the point. This is why. Hold on. Let me land. No, I'm almost.
Land. Keep talking, actually. It's good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and again, just wanted to point out, guys, you did have different groups in Arabia, and you had people who claimed to be Christian but were heretical, who denied the crucifixion of Jesus. And how did you get to that situation? The Emperor Justinian expelled heretics from the Roman Empire, and a bunch of them went down to Arabia. And so you had all these heretical groups there. So Muhammad is hearing different people who claim to be Christians saying different things, right?
Yep.
But again, 4157, he's not even responding to any of them. He's responding to what Jews were saying. But that's the point. He's always responding to what someone is saying. Does he know what's in the text? No, he doesn't. But you can't get Hijab or Ali Dawah to even understand what the heck you're saying when you point that out.
I didn't realize this, but it's probably I didn't realize this, but actually, please keep talking.
Out of all this, what do you think Ali Dawah comments on?
Avery stirring or something like that. I don't know. What do we? Is that what he's saying? Really? I don't. Oh, hang on.
It doesn't help you, Avery. You know, when you do this stuff like this and the whole costume stuff, it genuinely doesn't help you. You know, this whole showman thing, etc. That's what
you asked, and I was like, "What's the dumbest thing he could comment on?" I was like, "Oh, Avery was pulling out the spoon, something like that." Right on the money, man. Right on the money.
But you know what's bizarre is he's critiquing Avery for being a showman.
Yeah,
Muhammad Hijab's entire career is being a showman.
That's it.
And thumping his chest. Yep. He's a showman.
Yep. And the difference is, Avery is a showman when he knows he's cooking you And to sort of like put the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae, he does a little show. He puts on a little show to emphasize just how much he just cooked you. Hijab and Ali Dawah, they do the show in place of having in place of actual any good points, right? So they don't have any good points, good responses, so they resort to theatrics. And then Ali Dawah's condemning Avery for theatrics when that's literally all Hijab does is theatrics. This is just wild, man.
When you came to me at my table, I can match your energy, bro, with showmanship, there, etc. We had a fun time. You promoted the mat, etc. It doesn't work. That argument that you made, you've realized the
Did you say he promoted the mat? The mat's made in China?
Yeah.
The mats that you have made in China, which funds the Chinese government that's putting Muslims in concentration camps that you're so proud about? This is weird, man. This is weird.
You've realized what you've done there, and that's not going to help you. And we can see from your body language, and that's why you see Hijab was more relaxed, because this argument was a knockout. But let's carry on.
This is thank you. This is good. So what you're going to have to deal. Thank you. So this is what you're going to have to deal with. What you're going to have to deal with is Muhammad commanding you not to believe what we say or disbelieve what we say. Notice he never.
And this is where I disagree with Hijab. Like, bro, when your enemy is making a mistake, stop interrupting him. Look, Avery, at the moment when Hijab said, I just need to let you talk. Yes, Hijab. Don't make any remarks. You should just mean dead silent there. Because what he done to himself, this is why the only criticism of Hijab is here, is this. Bro, he just knocked himself out. Let him. When your enemy is making a mistake, don't disturb him.
It goes against the scripture. Show me anywhere where Muhammad says, don't believe in what the scripture says.
Man, what are you talking
Show me
about?
one time where Muhammad said
Avery,
that.
let's go back to the point.
This is the point. Please answer.
Avery.
There you go. Look, Hijab, done with that. And I'll just mention just one small point that is not to be mentioned. Okay.
It's like the dumbest review ever.
Quran is the Prophet Muhammad. The fact that verse says they did not kill him, nor did they crucify him, is evident. He doesn't need to come out and say, and which he has. There's verses where he's told the companions, why are you reading the old scriptures when we have the Quran? It's done. But if the author of the Quran is the Prophet Muhammad, which they claim, the Prophet Muhammad said they did not kill him, nor did they crucify him. Hello?
No, hold on.
They're just going all in. This is so stupid. I have to say, there's a reason for it. Man. No, there's a reason for it. Years ago, when I put out this challenge, it got I think it got millions of views, but
it did.
But now I'm sorry. Now I want to look up how many views it got because it's still on the old channel. But
okay, look it up.
I put out this challenge and I said, show me one clear verse in the Quran that says the gospel was corrupted. Adnan Rashid responded, Surah 4, verse 157 contradicts the Bible. It says Jesus never died. So that's it. And then all Muslims, boom, oh boy. And they don't realize, guys, that's part of the Islamic dilemma. The Quran affirms our scriptures. It never once says it's correcting our scriptures, never once says our scriptures are corrupted, never once says anything like that. It confirms the inspiration and the preservation and the authority of our scriptures, and then says things that are completely contradicted by our scriptures. Put them together, that's the Islamic dilemma. It's affirming scriptures that contradict the Quran. That's a problem. And when you point out, hey, the Quran is confirming our scriptures, can you show us one verse where it says our scriptures are corrupted? They go, aha, but here's a verse where the Quran disagrees with the Bible. So obviously it's saying your scriptures are corrupt. Adnan Rashid did that. And now Ali Dawah, just because that was their hero back then, even though they can't get along now, he just keeps rolling with this. And so does Hijab. This is pathetic, guys.
And you know who else does? Nadir Ahmed. Nadir Ahmed brought the same verse up. He brought up 157. I was like, that's actually reinforcing the Islamic dilemma. That doesn't help you, buddy. That's not a good argument.
It's bad. It's really bad.
4.2 million views.
4.2 million views on that video. That's why they responded to it in panic mode. But their responses were all stupid.
What you said that it was a correction. Okay.
Of what
it
they
was
say.
A correction.
I want you guys to please, I'm so sorry for just interrupting, but please look carefully. I'm going to zoom into Avery's body language.
What is up with this? Oh, look, your body language. Oh, yes, your demeanor shifted. Yes, you're clearly looking panicked, blah, 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 blah. Everything. Do you guys ever actually just try to focus on an argument for 5 seconds?
He's kind of giving you some insight as to like how he watches debates though. Like he doesn't listen to what they're saying.
I've been saying
He's,
that
like,
for years.
watching
I've been saying that for years, and
yeah.
I had to find that out early on. They're not listening to what you're saying. They're listening to like
No.
how, like who's thumping his chest and stuff like that. And that
Right.
person must be
It's-
right. This is stupid. This caveman religion,
Yeah.
man.
This is exactly what happens when every time he gets caught out, his nervous laugh, etc. When he came to my table, okay, watch his body language very carefully because he knows what he done to himself.
And you admitted. You actually, I'm surprised, and I have to commend you actually.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be a belligerent young man.
Hey, look, Ali Dawah zoomed in on him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay,
I can tell you what Avery's like. This guy's actually too stupid to understand anything I'm saying right now.
thought
Yeah.
you know you put on the hat. You put.
I'm
I
a
thought
humble
you'd be
chef.
belligerent, but I have to say you're better than
humble
I thought
chef.
you'd be.
And I agree with Hijab. This is why I have to give credit where it's due. I admire Avery's honesty. When he said yes, he shot himself in the head,
He's so
but at
stupid.
least he was honest enough to say yes. Something.
He was. How are they not getting this? He was asked, does Allah claim that he's correcting the people of the book? Yes. And Avery clarified, not correcting their book, correcting what they say. Jai, do you agree? Does the author of the Quran claim to be correcting what people say?
That's exactly what it's
Yes,
doing.
that is what he says. Oh no, I guess the Islamic dilemma is done now, right, guys? Because we agreed with that. Sorry, doesn't work, because we're not talking about what people say. We're talking about what the text says. And Avery didn't agree to that. This is just
Integrity was there. Yeah, and I applaud Avery for being honest and saying, yep, that was a correction. Your whole Islamic dilemma is in the bin. Thank you, Avery, very much.
No, you're better than I thought.
I'm a humble
you'd be.
chef.
You do have a future in content creation and in influencing.
Oh,
You
thank
do
you.
have a future in this. And you know what? I'm starting to like him.
Yeah.
I'm starting to like something. Yeah, he's got some good qualities, but just don't
That's
smile
usually
like
the effect I have on people.
that. Because don't just smile like that because you look like a buck tooth.
But
buckaroo.
it's okay, man.
But
You gotta
that's
confuse somebody else.
but that's
confuse
aside
one
for
of the
now.
Sahaba or
Look,
something.
no.
It's all good, though.
We're just having a
good.
good time.
This is
The point I'm
I'm
making
a
to you is
humble
this.
chef. I like to cook giants.
Okay, whatever. Let me just say this to you, right?
Mhm.
The point I'm making to you is this. You have just admitted when the Quran says وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ
Whoa.
شُبِّهَ لَهُم, yeah, that
Whoa,
when
whoa,
they
whoa.
You see that? Look, Avery, guys. Look how Avery does not like, because he's like, yo,
Because he realizes he's misrepresenting him. He's like, that's not what I said.
Yeah, do you hear this? Ali Dawah sees and Avery's no. Oh, you see, he's getting psychologically traumatized by Muhammad Hijab's power. No, he's like, no. How are you not getting? How? No, why are you still not getting this? It is, guys. It is frustrating to talk to these guys when they're so freaking dumb. They don't understand what you're saying.
I made a big mistake. And he's like, yo, no, I didn't say that. Look, his body language. Look very carefully, guys. Just please observe him very
Is
carefully.
this the entire
I didn't say
video?
anything.
no. Let me finish
Yeah,
what I'm
this is
saying.
the-
And
this
is
is
it
the
then
video.
correcting that or not? Yes or no?
Beautiful. So now I get to fully answer. So this is notice the difference. The answer is yes. Here's a quick answer to yes.
Aha. Let me finish.
Correcting what they say.
You just misrepresented me. I never said about
I didn't
anything.
even say-
about the Quran. The answer is yes. Here's a quick answer to yes.
Aha.
Yes.
I didn't even say anything yet.
Yes, you did. You said that what I admitted that what the Quran says. I never said anything about what the Quran says. The answer is yes. Here's a quick answer to yes.
Aha.
Yes. We're talking about what
No, I haven't
Muhammad
even-
said
no, no,
pertains
no.
to Hadith.
If you haven't finished my sentence, so you would not. You could.
You see that the fact that, look, Hijab hasn't even finished a sentence and he's already panicking because he knows him saying the word yes, is it correcting? night, game over. So he's like, oh, damn, I didn't say that.
Avery said in response to the question, is Allah supposedly correcting what the people say? Avery says, yes. Guess what? Any last one of us who defends the Islamic dilemma would say, yes, that's exactly what the Quran claims to be doing. It claims to be correcting what people say, what Jews say, what Christians say. And it's saying you're wrong. Why? Because you are lying about your scriptures, or you don't understand your scriptures, or you're misrepresenting your scriptures, but you're wrong about your scriptures. And now I'm correcting what you're saying. Any last one of us will say that. I would say that. I just asked Jai. Jai would say that.
Of course.
Chris from Speaker's Corner, who has a book on the Islamic dilemma, he would say that. Any one of us would say that. And these guys are saying, aha, they just said it, yeah. Therefore, the Islamic dilemma just went away. No. What you would need us to say yes to is the Quran deliberately correcting the previous scriptures and saying they're in error? If we say yes to that, yeah, that would do away with the Islamic dilemma for anyone who says that. None of us say that because it wouldn't be true. The Quran never claims to be correcting the previous scriptures. Ever. Not once.
And that's kind of built into our argument as well, because there are certain verses that say, like, you know, they do it with their mouths. Like, that's part of our argument, that the Quran is saying, yeah, what they're saying is wrong, but that doesn't say what the book says is wrong. It's like we're confirming the book, we're not confirming what they say. And so because Muhammad only had access to what they say, he didn't know what the book said. He didn't know the book contradicted him. So the book is being confirmed over and over and over and over again. And then it says, but what they say, that's something different. And this is like part of our argument. So it doesn't defeat the Islamic dilemma. It's part of the Islamic dilemma.
It's part of the Islamic dilemma. So it's like when they say, but look, the Quran contradicts the crucifixion, yeah. Right. That's part of the Islamic dilemma. It contradicts scriptures that it affirms.
Yep.
It says, is it really possible to be that dumb? Yeah, you might wonder, like, does this require some sort of demonic spiritual influence to be this dumb, or can you just naturally be this dumb? And that's going to be kind of a coin flip, right? 40 generations of first cousin marriage can make you actually that dumb. But also, like, demonic influence can make you this dumb. So, yep.
Yeah.
Flip a coin. Let us know what you come up with.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You said that it is correct in the
I've known what I'm saying.
Go ahead, bro.
I said when the Quran said وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ.
You guys catch that awkward laugh? He's had that laugh with Libiano. He's had it with me. He's had it with Hashim, with Hijab, with that guy who said, if Jesus, and goes on, what they talk about? He had it everywhere. Yep, and he knows, look, you can see his cheeks are going red.
They did not kill him. They did not crucify him. Where it was made to appear to them that was the case. Yeah, you admitted that was what you thought was a correction of Muhammad of the Christian community. But you thought he didn't know what's in the New Testament, okay? You didn't know what's in the New Testament, yet it's still a correction somehow. The point is the crucifixion mentioned in the New Testament? Yes, the crucifixion is without a doubt mentioned in the New Testament, and it's mentioned multiple times in multiple reports. It says in the Quran that it was made to appear to them that it was the case. It didn't really happen. This is a correction of the Quran, which shows the author of the Quran, whether you believe it's the Prophet Muhammad or we believe it's Allah, the author of the Quran was fully aware of what was in that book, and he was fully aware what was in circulation with Christians and Jews, and not only did he reject it, he corrected it.
Anyone that's watching this,
that is the
it's
most
funny because, like,
idiotic
as you
nonsense
as you pointed out, like, he's correcting himself. He's correcting himself. If that's what's going on there.
Yeah. So what Hijab just said there, guys, was if the author of the Quran says he's correcting the Christian community, but the text says what the Christian community believes, isn't he obviously aware of what the text says and he's responding to that? No. No. If the position of the Quran is that Jews and Christians are wrong about their scriptures, and he hears Jews and Christians saying certain things and he responds to them, does that mean he knows what the text says and that he's correcting that? No, not a bit. Show us that that's the case. This is so stupid, guys. This is so dumb. Let's see.
There's also another big problem, too. The problem, and we've brought up this problem before, the problem is that if these texts are corrupted, if we grant this situation, then the issue arises that it creates a more deleterious problem. If the previous scriptures are corrupted, that means God's words can be corrupted, and it's like they don't even acknowledge that. I'm like, do you get that you are saying that God is flawed and that God is not all powerful, all knowing, all seeing, You have to take away God's power in order to grant this position. It's so, to win this battle, you have to lose the war badly. It's a terrible position.
Yep. So, guys, Allah revealed the gospel, but then So Allah revealed the gospel, but then he corrupted the gospel by convincing everyone that Jesus died by crucifixion, which ended up in the gospel and started what, according to Islam, would be the largest false religion in the world. So Allah eventually realized that he needed to clean up the mess and correct the gospel because it was filled with lies. And so, in order to do that, he affirmed the inspiration, preservation, and authority of the gospel, ordered Christians to judge by the gospel, and told Christians they have to believe in the gospel. But he was secretly correcting it. Which means he would again be correcting what he said, because he's affirming the inspiration, preservation, and authority of the gospel, but he's actually saying, don't trust the gospel, it's been corrupted. And so he's again contradicting his own self. So their view is Allah's creating mess after mess after mess after mess and trying to clean it up, but creating new messes, and now believe in Islam, it's a great religion. Really, guys? Really? This is your case?
And is fair, will have to admit that is exactly what's happening. And in a nutshell, guys, without carrying on, I'm going to go to a bit of Avery's psychology in a minute, is that when it comes to
Ali Dawah examining someone psychologically?
Yep. I thought you were going to like this. Well, I don't know if like is the right word, but entertained by it.
sleeping with his daughters, when it comes to Solomon doing magic, when it comes to Jesus did not die, Jesus not being God, etc. It is throughout the Quran. Corrections are happening. Corrections. When the Jews come and say Mary is an adulterer, Jesus is not a Messiah, the Quran is coming and correcting them. And that is what Avery has admitted. And that is clear. Now the question is this, guys.
Solomon
the
doing magic
is the following. I am Ali Dawah. I do videos. Have you ever seen me go onto platforms where PhD, an individual Christian who's has a PhD degree, etc.? No, you know why? Because I know there are people who are doing that for their job. I wouldn't go and put myself unless I have some stuff to gain. Popularity, views, money, yes, etc. I would not put myself, because I'm doing a disservice to my reputation, if it's about my reputation.
I don't think you could hurt your reputation, dude.
No, I don't
You have a reputation as a complete moron.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If it's not about my reputation.
From what I understand, Muhammad Hijab's his PhD, his dissertation is to do with contingency. So it has got not so like he thinks like because like let's say that that's true. He's doing his PhD in contingency. What does it have to do with the topic they're discussing right now? So someone could be an expert in one area, and let's say they have expertise in that area. That doesn't mean that they're expert in every single area of life. So even if Muhammad Hijab is an expert in some area in life, it doesn't mean he's an expert in this. And it doesn't mean because you don't have a degree that you don't know how to argue for a particular position within that field or something like that. So Ali Dawah is just, he sees, degrees, he's like shiny kind of like medals on the wall or certificates, and he gets all, intimidated by. He thinks that he really thinks Muhammad Hijab is some big scholar.
Well, it's good Ali Dawah is concerned about his reputation.
Hopefully it's not because I don't do it for my reputation. If it's for my religion, and if I really care about my religion, the last thing I'll ever do is put myself on platforms of well-versed Christians. They're on battle falsehood anyways. They believe in the Trinity. Yeah, I can debate the Trinity with anyone. But I know there are people who are doing
Ali Dawah can debate the Trinity with anyone.
Yeah, I could do it because I got my shapes, and I bring my shapes, so and then I point out that the triangle, it don't be a square, yeah, and that's the refutation. Yeah, that would go over really well among scholars, man. Their minds would be blown away.
I know Muhammad Hijab, the rest. Okay, I don't. The only time, because
there was actually a Christian philosopher, Joshua Shajwadi. He was at Speaker's Corner one year, and he actually did talk to Ali Dawah. To Ali Dawah's credit, he had no idea who he was. So they had an argument about the Trinity. He presented with the love argument, and then Joshua Shajwadi presented with the love argument for arguing for God's nature being multiple persons, demanding 3 persons at minimum, and so Ali Dawah had no idea what he was getting into. So, but I think what he's saying is if he knows that the person's an expert, then he's not gonna talk to them. He didn't know.
Sometimes I do
Joshua
that.
was
When I
an
disagree
expert.
with someone, I'm like, yo, let me put myself in the shoes. Why would I go and make myself look like an idiot, shoot myself in the foot, and make my faith that I believe in look absolutely stupid, but it gets used against me? So many people come to...
And guys, his entire case so he's claiming that Avery just like embarrassed himself because he's out of his depth. He went on a show with a brilliant scholar, Muhammad Hijab, and Avery doesn't realize it's a complete mismatch. And so Ali Dawah was saying, yo, I don't have the fancy credentials, so I wouldn't put myself out there with someone because I don't want to get embarrassed. And he's supposedly attacking. Avery destroyed Hijab.
Yeah, exactly.
Completely. And Ali Dawah's only point for thinking that Avery was embarrassed is something where he doesn't even understand what Avery's saying because he's literally too stupid to understand the simplest of points. Allah claims to be correcting what people say, not the text. The text, 100% good with Allah. What people say about it, it's a mixture. Some of it's right, some of it's wrong. So he's clarifying when people are saying something that is not in accordance with the text. That's pretty darn simple. Ali Dawah, no. If you admit that he's responding to any human being, then he's attacking the text and saying the text has been corrupted. Okay, you sound like an idiot, Ali Dawah. But let's see. Maybe he's going to redeem himself here.
Islam in our Dawah team.
Do you mind if I make one comment on that? I think it's just really weird about the degree point where they keep talking about degrees. Folks who go to college.
Yeah, people who talk about degrees all the time and stuff. Yeah. It's like...
The weird thing is, the more you actually go to school, the more you know that you don't know a lot.
That's true.
That's the thing. You learn and you're like, oh shoot, there's so much stuff that I don't know.
Yep.
People, this is all performative. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm so smart. I'm like, no, I'm not smart. There's so many people way smarter than me. There's so much more intelligence in it. It teaches humility, I think. But
it does.
Know. Yeah.
Yeah. If you asked me when I was 25 years old how much I know compared to if you asked me the same question after I had a PhD, totally different answers. Totally different answers, right? D. Wood, 25 years old. I've got it all figured out. You're all wrong. I'm right. And I will school you all. D. Wood, post PhD. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about, guys. Yeah. So, and guys, there's a reason. If you think of if you just kind of imagine like everything that could be known, if you had a big circle that contained everything that could be known, like how much of that would you know? Like a dot so small you couldn't even see it. You couldn't even see it if you put the dot on that circle, right? That's how much you know. So there's all this stuff you don't know. And yeah, Issa's pointing out, the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know. But it's just weird to me, this degrees. Not just because it would mean you shouldn't take Muhammad or any of his companions seriously because they didn't have any fancy degrees. But guys, could you imagine? I could do that if I wanted. I could do a live call-in show and invite Muslims on and go, hey, do you have a PhD like me? No. Do you have 2 master's degrees like me? No. All right. Well, you're just a stupid idiot. What would that have to do with anything? The person might have a good argument, or he might be an idiot, but he might have a good argument. And guess what? Even if you have 5 PhDs, any person you're talking to knows things that you don't know. Right? They've just had different life experiences and stuff. They've seen things you don't. They know things you don't know. Maybe they know something relevant. Maybe they've got a good point. But with these guys, no. The point of getting a degree is to insult other people and to puff you up and make you think that everyone is inferior to you. Like what? I mean, think about it, guys. Why is Muhammad Hijab getting degrees at all? He doesn't seem to be learning from them. I've never seen any clue. Based on his behavior and his arguments, I've never seen any clue that this guy has tons of academic work under his belt. Never seen any indication of that. Why?
No.
Why is he getting degrees? To learn more? No, it's just to have the credential. That's it. And that's why his dad had the Cambridge Leering Center for people who don't actually want to learn anything but want the credential. Think, he comes from a family, a literal family that says all you need are these letters after your name. That makes you one of the good ones.
Yep.
And so, well, guess what? Why don't you just send a couple $100 to the Cambridge Leering Center and they send you a certificate saying you're an expert in this. That's the only purpose, right? And you see that with hijab. Yeah. And then his little sidekick here, he falls right for it. This is so stupid, guys. This is so stupid. You sound like idiots, man. Let's see.
Yeah, and it's so he's supposed to be getting his PhD in the contingency argument and philosophy, dealing with the existence of God and things. And like people, there's another thing about degrees is that they're very, 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 very specific. And so you can have someone with a PhD in philosophy that, David can speak more to this, but like I've heard of philosophy professors who they never took a class in logic, for example. So they have a completely different area of philosophy that they're like experts in. That doesn't mean that they just have like all knowledge on everything to do with philosophy within their own field, let alone other fields outside of their very specific area of expertise. It's.
Oh, hey, Jack. Do I have a reputation of a guy who's particularly good with tech stuff?
With what stuff?
Like tech stuff.
Oh, tech. Oh, tech. Yeah, no, you don't.
No, I'm terrible, right? I'm terrible, right? Okay.
No, yeah, pretty terrible.
In graduate school, I was considered a tech genius by the philosophy professors. I was considered a tech genius because I had learned like a couple of things.
Yeah.
And then they would be like, oh, I can't figure out why this is running so slow. And I just go in there because I had to figure it out for myself. And I looked up troubleshooting things, but then something else the same thing would happen to them. And I go, oh, I know how to do this. And they thought I was like a tech genius and stuff. I'm a moron. But anyway, the point is, these are all guys who are like renowned philosophers and they can't figure out the most basic thing about computers and stuff.
Anyway. I actually 100% agree too, because when I was studying like comparative religion, like my colleagues who are Muslim didn't know anything about Christianity. They didn't have to. All they had to know was stuff within Islam, or if they were Buddhist. Because I remember I was asking them, like, do you know what the 4 Gospels are? They didn't know. They didn't know about what the Gospel of Mark, Luke, John. They didn't know any of that. And I guess the reason I did is because I studied in undergrad. You know what I mean? But like a lot of people, they don't know like really basic stuff, even within the field. They only know their own niche. So that says a lot.
Yeah.
It's because of the Trinity not making sense. And I had to come to one conclusion, which is the following. Avery, like I said, me and you on the same foot. Yes? I don't have a degree, etc. I'm a YouTuber, I do discussions, apologetics, whatever it is for that matter. We're in the same grounding, etc. Okay, that's when you came to my table, you found your match. Yes? You want to do showing, etc. Like, you want to make it like a little show, etc. I'm ready for it, bro. Do you get it? I'll bring the triangles and the squares. A triangle square. Okay, we know what happened there. So the claim is this. Why are you doing this? You know what it shows? It shows you don't give two flying damn about your faith or even your reputation. There is something else going on that is causing you to go and do this at your own destruction. And I genuinely believe, bro, it might be, I might be totally wrong, but this is just my subjective opinion.
Okay.
It might be that, bro, you are just doing this for the money, and that is connected to your wife/girlfriend. So to me, I believe Avery.
What does he mean wife? What does it mean wife? What does it mean wife/girlfriend?
Wife.
How can she be your wife and your girlfriend? Avery has a wife, doesn't have a girlfriend. He has a wife. And where in the world is he coming up with Avery is doing this for money and money to support his what is he talking about? He just completely makes stuff up and then just goes with it and makes a YouTube video about it.
Let me see.
Opinion. It might be that, bro, you are just doing this for the money, and that is connected to your wife/girlfriend. So to me, I believe, Avery, you have a deep insecurity and your wife is not on your league. I think you think your wife is a catch. Look, I'm up to wrong, okay? And the only thing I can bring this down to is you are just trying to, throw money at her and keep this relationship going. And I believe this is going to come out eventually, I believe. Because there's nothing I can logically and rationally bring it down to for you to go and make a mockery.
You know what projection is, guys?
That's exactly what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
That's exactly what I was
So
thinking.
he's saying the reason Avery is going out there and embarrassing his religion is because he's getting piles of money to make his wife happy. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. One, Avery just crushed the champ, the final boss, to the point where the champ, the final boss, had to copyright strike him after saying he could have this on his channel. That's how desperate he was, because it was going viral on Avery's channel. He had to shut it down. Hijab was a complete embarrassment. Totally. Right? Ali Dawah, too stupid to understand what just happened. But he says the reason God Logic puts himself out there like this to completely embarrass himself is to make piles of money. Why would he be getting piles of money if he's embarrassing himself? Right? People obviously didn't. We were all loving it. We're the ones reviewing it. I didn't see tons of Dawah guys. Oh, this is the greatest thing of all time. Let's watch it. Let's just keep watching it and stuff like that. They kind of want to like sweep it under the rug and hide it, right? But think, Ali Dawah was saying that the reason you put yourself out there to get embarrassed is because you want money to throw at a woman. Why is that relevant? Well, why do you become?
That's exactly what they do.
Why do you guys focus on Dawah? I mean, Hijab said it. He said that the percentage of da'is who have polygamous marriages is way higher than among regular Muslims. Way higher.
Yep.
Hijab said it.
Yep.
So these guys view themselves as just like funding extra wives and putting them up in hotels and stuff. You got to pay for the hotels, right? Hotel Hijab. But it's funny. He's like, this is exactly what they do, and we know they do it, and they admit that they do it. I mean, Ali Dawah, remember the scandal of Ali Dawah? It was a kind of a side scandal when that came out from Muhammad Hijab. But Ali Dawah was having girls on his show, and then he'll offer to pay for their Hajj as long as they agree to marry him for the Hajj. So they take the pilgrimage to Mecca. Yeah. Hey, I'll pay for your trip, and then I just get to bang you, and that's in exchange. Okay, that's a prostitute, dude. You're turning women into prostitutes. But guess what? You got to have that money to pay for that trip, right? So what do? You got Dawah. And so this is how they are. And so they assume, oh, that's what Christians are doing. We're not like you, dude. We're not like you.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't tell us anything about Avery. This tells us everything about Ali Dawah. And this tells us why he does what he does.
Confessions of Ali Dawah.
Yeah. It's like very specific too. It'd be like,
It's like Jai, you be a psychiatrist and I'll be someone. I got this friend, and his name is Shmavid. Shmavid Good, and he's really insecure and he's having a lot of trouble right now, and that's what this is like right now. He's like, he's saying what he's talking about himself, but projecting it onto Avery.
Yeah.
This is just sad.
It's like oddly specific too. It's like, David, I think you're doing this stream right now because you're trying to pay off this bill for a car payment that you owe, and because you bought this specific car at this specific price. It's like it's very specific. Well, you're talking about yourself. I'm
waiting for Ali Dawah to say. And so what I think is you're trying to get a third or fourth wife, to practice some temporary.
Oh, that's why he said wife
marriage.
Girlfriend. Yeah. That's why he said wife girlfriend, because he. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're trying. You want to be able to pay for to take a woman on the Hajj. I mean, to some Christian thing. And this is pathetic, dude. Let's see.
Yourself, your faith, yes, and look like an absolute idiotic moron. Yes, even like, for example, I'll show you 2 more clips.
Is Jesus fully God?
We say that he's truly God.
Is he fully God or not?
Already answered.
Yes or no? God or
we
not?
don't say fully God.
Fully God or not?
Truly
Don't
God.
run. Can you be caused and uncaused at the same time?
Depends. Yeah, it depends on what you mean.
In these 2 clips, you saw Hijab asking, you can have an uncaused cause. Is Jesus fully God?
Wait, he didn't say you give an uncaused.
It's like someone said, is Allah...
No.
He didn't say you're going to uncause. He doesn't even understand what he's saying. He said, can you be
he's
caused
saying
and
you
uncaused?
could be caused in one way, uncaused in another way. Right?
Yeah, but he's saying you can have an uncaused cause. That's how he interpreted that, or that's what he heard. I don't mean
Well, by the way, you can have an uncaused cause. That's one of the descriptions of God. God is not caused by something else, but he is the cause of other things. So Ali Dawah doesn't even understand basic terminology, right?
Yeah.
Truly God. No, we say he's truly Allah. What do you mean, bro? We never have these problems.
Avery already broke that down.
We
You
never have these
don't even play. He says because he's going with what the creeds say, right? He's going with what the creeds say. If you want to ask me something, I'm going with what the creed says.
Yeah.
So the question I'm going to ask is this. If I had this many clips of being caught out, I would leave the Dawah scene because it's an embarrassment, not just for myself, but I'm making my
Don't leave the
religion
Dawah
look
scene.
terrible.
Dawah scene, dude.
That's why I have to give credit where it's due, Avery, that when you said yes, I couldn't believe you said yes. It's like when I stopped you and I said, which religion believes God, a man, does miracles and claims to be God? You said Islam.
And then he quoted the hadith to show you, which you...
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know. Guys, what he's talking about there is, he says, which religion is going to be deceived by the Antichrist? The Antichrist comes and shows up and claims to be God, but he's a man. He goes, which religion is going to be deceived by this? Yeah. And Avery
Muhammad
said,
tells us.
yeah, Muslims. Oh, this is shocking. And he quoted the hadith where Muhammad has to explain how you can tell the difference between the Antichrist and someone else. And so he quotes the hadith to show, no, it's Muslims who are going to be deceived by this, according to Muhammad himself. And Ali Dawah still can't get his mind around it.
Yeah, don't confuse this man with your Lord, okay? So that means what? There's
going to
some
be confused.
possibility.
Yeah.
Like everyone, even the audience was laughing at you. And then I realized to myself, bro, there is a pressure on you to do this. And it is not the pressure of making my faith or defending my faith. It is something else. And my conclusion is, bro, I believe your wife is way out of your league and you are head over heels with her. And you are just trying to provide a lifestyle for her to stay with you or something like that. That's something I can be completely wrong. It might come out that might be the truth. But what I'm saying is, bro, I don't know whatever.
As someone who knows Avery and Christina, you are so, like, you couldn't possibly be more wrong, dude. Like, and this just, if I didn't know anything else about you and I didn't know how stupid you were, and all I knew was, like, I knew Avery and Christina and I had no background, I didn't know anything about Islam or Christianity, and I saw you saying this, I would say, I cannot trust this dude on anything ever again if he is this insanely stupid. And says things that he knows nothing about and just says it with complete confidence like this. This is pathetic.
Yeah. It tells us about him. This is probably why he does Dawah. This is why he does what he does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got to keep up. Got to keep up that, you got to provide the whiteboards for your wives and stuff. You got to keep them in those nice whiteboards, man. So you got to keep those Dawah bucks rolling in and fund the Chinese government.
Anyone would go to these levels of humiliating themselves on camera and debating
opponents. You're just still saying the same thing over and over again.
Grade. Yeah. But if you come and debate me, look, you're not even Lipiano, bro. Lipiano is lethal. That's why when it comes in, you run for your life. I don't blame you. Lipiano's dangerous, bro.
He ran because Lipiano's lethal or because Muhammad Hijab was ducking and he brings on a guy who just called his wife a whore?
Exactly.
I'm curious. What is lethal about Lipiano?
Nothing.
Like,
I have no idea.
I think he's
Nothing.
one of the worst debaters I've ever seen.
He sucks.
When I watch him, I go to sleep. Like, it's like watching, like, they made a remake of The Lion King. That movie was so horrible that if you go in the theater, you go to sleep. That's what happened to me. When I listen to Lipiano debate, that's what I feel. I just take a nap because it's boring. He has no substance. His style isn't great. He's like trying to imitate philosophy, but he's not a good philosopher. And I think he's lethal because it's what we bring up. It's in Living Color sketch where they say a bunch of mumbo jumbo. And if you watch like science fiction movies where they say a lot, they call it technobabble. He says a bunch of technobabble.
Yep.
And that's his debate.
And Ali Dawah tries to do that, right? He'll say, because contingency, but he doesn't understand anything he's saying. He doesn't understand what he's saying. To be fair, Lipiano's massively smarter than Ali Dawah, and he's more correct in things than Ali Dawah. But yeah, it's just, this is what Da'is do. Again, they don't learn philosophy to have philosophy as a tool for getting to the truth. They learn philosophical terms to sound smart to stupid people. And it's all part of the show. Anyway.
If I was a Christian,
By the way,
I've
heard. I don't keep up with Libiano, but I've heard him say this before. He'll use terms like analytical and synthetical, and he'll use them completely. Like he'll be like, when he's defending his position about Allah being a father, he's like, it's analytically true that Allah's a father. It's analytical truth. And of course, like, no one in his audience knows what he's referring to, but he's using terms completely wrong. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but analytical refers to something like a square. Okay, the square has 4 corners, right? 4, like that. Or like a bachelor, someone who's not married. It's just something that's by definition that thing. A psychiatrist is a doctor, just by definition.
I'm trying to figure out what that. Yeah, I'm trying to figure. I'm trying to figure out what the heck he would mean by father is analytic.
That's exactly what I try to. Yeah, he has no idea. He probably just got it from like ChatGPT or something like that, and he is just a. Because apparently that's where they get conscious edits from ChatGPT. But that's what he says. He's saying like, so God by like just natural state of affairs, I guess you just by definition he's a father. I guess that's what I don't know where he gets that from, but that's what he says.
No, that would make no sense.
Yeah, because you would need God to like. I don't know. So yeah, but anyway, so that's one of the examples where he's trying to use big words to impress people. But if you ask him what it means, he would have no idea how to find it.
I will stay away from anything that starts with the word L. Libya, hell no. Anything. Lamb. I'm not eating lamb anymore, bro. It starts with L. Okay, because it's going to cook me. I'm going to be the sacrificed lamb. Libyano's cold as ice and dangerous, and I don't blame you. So you are going to these people like Muhammad, etc. They are not, bro. Come debate me. Yes? Okay, even then, I would say, you know what, guys? Us in the Dawah table. And all of these shahadas I'm going to show you, this shows you Islam is the truth. You know why? Because when you speak to people on a one-to-one level, genuinely, and tell them about Islam, they are flocking to Islam, and we have evidence of that.
And 60 to 70% of the people you get to convert to Dawah, you get to convert because of your Dawah, they leave Islam within a couple of years. Yeah. So what's that mean? You're creating more ex-Muslims than you're creating Muslims. Brilliant strategy. Keep it up.
Thousands of Christians around the globe that we provide these guided prayer mats to, and they learn how to pray salah. Thousands in our
prayer mats made in China, funding the Chinese government, which is tossing your Muslim brothers into concentration camps. Awesome, another brilliant strategy.
He's like, Avery's doing this all for money. By the way, these prayer mats. I noticed you had to edit out the commercials because there's like 3 commercials during this video where he's advertising for the prayer mats. So he's like, Avery's doing it for the money, It's like prayer mats.
Campaign that we've done for Ramadan, most of them were ex-Christians. Nothing else needs to be said, guys, inshallah. And Avery, I'll be honest with you, I don't know, man. I just think if the issue is the issue of your wife, bro, don't humiliate yourself, because I'll be honest with you, there's going to be a point where your wife's going to see through. And I'll be honest with you, man, she's going to leave you one way or another. If that's your concern, I'm just speculating. If that's your concern, bro, stop making yourself look stupid, man. Look, Islam doesn't need Christianity. Okay, we're doing fine as it is. People are coming to Islam, but don't make a mockery out of yourself, bro. Like from a YouTuber to a YouTuber, we're on the same footing, etc. As a advice to you, I'm telling you, bro, you're making yourself look like an absolute moron. It's up to you to carry on, and I'll be honest with you, just carry on embarrassing yourself. That was my little 2 pence on this matter. Until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, what's weird is if it comes to embarrassing yourself and making a complete idiot out of yourself on YouTube, you would think, well, Ali Dawah is the expert on this, and so he might have some helpful advice, but he's just completely wrong because he's a complete idiot. And here's the reality, Ali Dawah. I've only said it a million times, but Dawah guys, they have this, this career that looks like this. It goes up and then down. Why? Because they come out with their new way of doing things. People catch on to it. People expose them. They start looking really, really stupid. They get desperate, but it doesn't work, and then they go downhill. You're on your way down, man. Like check out your views. You're having trouble. You're having trouble getting you have 1.3, 1.4 million subscribers. You can barely break 100,000. It has to be some super big topic to break 100,000. 100,000 for a regular YouTuber and stuff would be like a ton of views. For a channel with 1.3, 1.4 million, no, that's not a lot, and you can't get close to that, man. I look, you like 20,000, 15,000, 6,000 and stuff like that. When he posts one of one of his new videos where he came up with the game trick and stuff like he started doing games and they're getting like 6,000 views and stuff like that. And he set it all up. And So anyway, the point is you're on the way down.
Oh, don't forget.
I'm saying God logic's going like this.
Yeah.
Only difference is he's not relying on little stupid tricks and stuff like you guys do. So that's gonna keep going, dude. You see it. You guys are in panic mode and you're looking like complete idiots and fools right now. You want me to prove it? Avery said, he wasn't totally wrong. She's gorgeous. I got blessed and I am wildly sprung.
There you go.
Hey.
So Ali Dawah, he's projecting. That's what we've concluded.
Yeah.
And he does what he does to apparently keep his wife happy. Is that what he's saying?
He's basically admitting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Notice, guys, it's the same thing when like Sam Shimon calls people fat and stuff. He's telling you something. He's saying something he's telling you something about his own mind, right? Anyway, you want me to prove it, guys, that Ali Dawah is just on his way out? Let's go to the video on his channel. This is his channel, guys. You see this? This is a video on his channel. My honest opinion on hijab versus no logic, God logic. So he gives his honest opinion. Now notice, this is Ali Dawah, and everyone was in. He posted it 2 weeks ago. This is when it was super, super popular, right?
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me
I think
see.
it was like the next day.
So right after that, when he was in damage control, and everyone was flocking to YouTube to find people's responses and so on. He came out with this. This should have been a huge video. Let me see. I posted a video about this. I posted Muhammad Hijab abrogates his debate with God logic. Mine got 217,000 views. 217,000. So way more than Ali Dawah. And Ali Dawah has all these Muslims looking for responses, and he gets 50,000. But let's go ahead and check the comments, guys. Got 2,200. We're not going to read all 2,200, but we'll see the ones that are there at the top. All right, so here he has his own. Download Quran on Android and iOS and build a habit reading the Quran. Oh, powerful. Look, 34 likes, guys. And that's good. All right, let's check out the non-Ali Dawah comments.
And look how many likes they get.
Look. Anyway, okay. So Ali Dawah's comment, 34 likes. Tony Tiger, for a Muslim that claims he has multiple degrees, he shows a lack of intelligence. 245 likes. Hijab acted like a child, 310. Hijab got so destroyed it's pathetic, 155. Lol, Hijab is a clown, constantly engaging in appeals to authority fallacies without addressing the argument and interrupts whenever Avery is making a point. Let's see how far down we have to get to find someone saying, yeah, Hijab destroyed and humiliated Avery. Hijab's most used words for this debate, boy, degrees, and it's going to be more after that. To be honest, even if one does not agree with Avery or his argument, Hijabi behavior is absolutely atrocious and disgusting, to say the least. A terrible representation. This guy started off with constant insults and mockery and so on. Ali Dawah got cooked by the same logic, and now he's doing a video on how Hijab got cooked. It's mad how you have to chop up the whole debate to make a video. Why not play and review the full video properly? All these edits just show you don't want the full picture out there. Ali, the best undercover Christian. Lol, nice try. Everyone saw the video. Hijab embarrassed himself. This review is so dishonest. The last of the Dawah has fallen and Ali is trying damage control. Lol. I thought you said you were going to be real. You did not criticize Muhammad one time on his antics, yelling, insulting, acting like a child. Since the triangles in a square incident, Ali Dawah has never been the same. I heard Hijab asked Avery to take down the debate citing copyright. Al-Taqiyya on work. Muhammad Hijab got cooked badly. Hijab got smoked in this debate. You misunderstood what he was saying yes to, right? God logic exactly. Destroyed Hijab. Hijab had only insults and diversions, could not face the trustee, so Hijab always had to avoid discussion. Embarrassing for Hijab. Ali kept saying, we have to be fair, but goes on to be totally biased the next second. Man has 6 degrees and had no clue about what the Muslim scholars even wrote. That's right, he didn't know. He had to have God logic breaking down what Muslim scholars say about these verses. And why don't you try to react on the whole video? From a non-Muslim, hijab's behavior and arguments during this debate will only turn people away from Islam. Hijab only hurts Muhammad's cause. Even when you try spinning the narrative, it's very clear from this footage that God logic cooked hijab. Ali, you shouldn't have done this damage control because you worsened the situation. Ali Dawah trying damage control. Dude, that hijab train didn't only derail, it was a wreck. Islam really rottens the brain. As a Muslim, hijab lost and was disrespectful, made the ummah look terrible. This is from Akeem Noor. Hijab lost so badly, hijab lost badly, made himself look like a buffoon. That's the truth. I'm Muslim, alhamdulillah, but gotta say the truth. For anyone who doesn't agree, watch the whole debate. I haven't seen anyone panic so quickly in a debate. Minute 505, hijab already saying next in an attempt to run away from the argument. Great tactic. Hijab went on to say next multiple times. When he realized that everyone won't let him get away, hijab out of frustration said, so what? Classic. You're so clueless, mate. We all, now keep in mind, guys, I don't know how far. I was just thinking we go down until we get to one who's saying,
might be hard.
I don't know. We got to see. We got to see. I was figuring we go down like 10 comments or something, but it looks like there might be further than that. You're so clueless, mate. We all watched the original video. Ali still failing to grasp the distinction being drawn between what Muhammad believed Christians were saying versus what was written in the scriptures. The Quran repeatedly says that the people of the book have distorted their interpretation in the way they speak of the verses. It never says the verses have been changed. Weird how so many people in the comment section are way smarter than Ali Dawah. Here we have God is monotheism. Sounds like a Muslim account. To be honest, Ali, Avery was way more relaxed in the whole debate. As a Muslim myself, I did not see the answers needed for Avery. He did not answer about Quran 1094 question when Allah told Muhammad, if you are in doubt. Why would he be in doubt? Ask the people who received the book before you. Why couldn't hijab just answer by saying Allah meant the prophets and so on?
Wow.
There's an old saying in Africa, when someone starts to insult and shouting, we don't talk like an Arab. When someone starts to insult and shouting, we don't talk like an Arab. That's the response in Africa. Hey, what are you doing, man?
We're not Arabs, man.
Why are you talking like an Arab, man? What is in the Injil and where is it? The only way Muslim can win argument is by bring back the original Injil and showing us. If the Quran is correcting Bible, then tell us who was their messenger Allah sent to a village. I hope you call out for hijab for copyright striking Avery's video, even though he gave verbal consent for Avery to upload it. Dawah has zero credibility if you don't. Avery never said that the Quran is an actual correction. The argument is from an Islamic view and what the texts say or what scholars say. Avery is an honest person in this case. The Quran is not calling for a correction of scripture, but of words. However, the word corrected are from scripture. Hijab is a deceiver, like, well, you know, you're trying to paint it as though blah, blah, blah. You're giving hijab more credit than due. Hijab lost and you can't help him. The coping is hard for many Muslims. It's so funny when you have no argument. Now you try to go to body language. You're already stammering. You guys go watch the full video. If I was a Muslim seeing this compared to the full video, this is so bad. Allow Avery's full answer. Ali, God logic, why are you destroying us? Why are you doing this? Triangles and squares keep Ali up at night when Muslims are honest. And then laughing. This video is just a waste of time, except the embarrassment. Avery won the debate. Well, you are not honest, brother. It's so embarrassing to read the comments of the Muslim support for in support for hijab. You guys are so biased. I feel you're cutting clips and not presenting the full answers, but I do find it interesting to see your perspective. So Ali and hijab both missed Avery's explaining why he said yes, due to the fact that hijab said Muhammad and not the Quran. There's no such term as fully God. Truly God makes sense because he's a true God. Avery cooked. You missed the entire point. Quick question. Do you have any more trophies for God logic? God logic strikes again. Guys, is there any comment?
I don't know if there's any Muslims, but W to the Christians. Look at this. This is amazing.
So Ali is
I mean, there's some Muslims in there too, actually. Muslims too.
Yeah, so this one, nope. Making fun of Ali. You don't even believe
but
this.
Muslims who are commenting are not on Ali Dawah's side. They're against.
That's right.
You know what's interesting? It's not even an argument for Islam. They said it was an argument for Islam. It's not. It's an argument of Dawah-gandism. That's the religion. It's a Dawah-gandist perspective where they say, you know, Islam is for corruption. It's not. It's their perspective.
Is it not the same Ali Dawah got cooked by hijab? More Muslims got to know God logic through this debate and are now listening to his videos. The debate and then the copyright strike really shook the faith of many Muslims. They are now curious because they see the dishonesty. Thanks to you guys, your bro hijab got cooked steak for dinner. Nah, hijab for dinner. Muslim. Like, dude, seriously, I don't think. The decimation of Muhammad Hijab by God logic? I don't want, this is just, you got so cooked so many times. Why did he put a copyright on it if it had nothing to hide? Dude.
Oh, look at this guy saying, I'm sorry, Ali.
Sorry. I thought at the start you're going to be honest. This is,
Wow.
Islam got cooked. Guys, this is just,
Dang,
we
man,
went through
that's
dozens of comments.
crazy.
They were all just crushing Ali Dawah. People aren't falling for it, man. People aren't falling for it anymore. This is bad for Dawah. Bad.
Do you know
for
how
Dawah.
bad it is?
Really bad.
Other YouTubers who don't actually focus on this topic covered this debate.
Yeah.
They had Sahar TV, Metatron. I saw other YouTubers who have nothing to do with this content. It was so bad, it was so terrible that other YouTubers across the YouTube space are going against this.
It's pretty darn bad. Pretty darn bad. Wow. Ali Dawah getting cooked in the comment section of his own video. People aren't falling for it. People know what happened and all the, but look at his body language. People aren't falling for that stupid, idiotic nonsense, and that's all you guys have right now. That's how desperate you are. Let's zoom through these. The fact that you can analyze Muhammad psychologically based on how he behaved and what he did in the Muslim sources proves to me that the guy actually existed. I'm referring to the Mahdi stream. Yeah, I agree. D Wood's real name is Lapidoth is Lapidoth being Deborah's husband. Yeah, no, I'm Deborah. So is not in the Zut sense the new your mom joke gonna keep it in my back pocket? Yeah, it's more like the new that's what she said. My gosh, Issa, control your temper, freaking hothead. Good point. Good point. Ali Dawah defending his friend in Mutta, and he's proud of that. The Quran might be the first work of fan fiction. Yep. 7th century Comic-Con. Father God, please release these people. They cannot possibly believe this. Spirit, open their eyes and soften their hearts in Jesus' name. Amen. What more can we expect from a God who can't even protect Quran chapters from a sheep? Sunan Ibn Majah, 1944. Ali D's parents were probably cousins. Would not surprise me at all. Wait, Ali Dawah is still a thing? Not as much. Ali Dawah rose delusion to a whole new level. Yep. Ali Dawah sounds like a 9-year-old. Yeah, 9-year-old girl, actually. On her wedding night with Muhammad. Ali Dawah tells God logic to respect people who are more educated than him, turns around and educates Mojab. Mo should challenge him to a mubahala. That'd be good. Option A, massive conspiracy within the early church where they corrupted the scriptures with no textual evidence. Option B, an illiterate man doesn't know what a book said. I wonder which one. Obviously. It's obviously the massive conspiracy, yeah. Ali Dawah Kurdish parents were first cousins. Not surprising again. If Dawagandists' noses grew every time they lied, then probably Mo would prefer to hang out with them instead of Al-Zut.
Oh, gosh.
But David, that would imply Allah is divinely wrong. Yes, it would. That's not a correction. That's a deception. If the Quran is true, then Allah is, just like it says, the best of all deceivers. Did Ali Dimwit just say the Quran is correcting Jews when they say Jesus isn't the Messiah? But doesn't the Quran also say the Jews boasted that they had killed the Messiah? Either the Jews thought Jesus was the Messiah or not. Hey, Hijab, show us your degrees and we'll show you ours. Nothing will destroy your self-image like earning a PhD. Jake the Mutta physician, a top-level Dawah guy. It shows how shallow Islam is when it comes to intelligence. I have a hard time believing Hijab got past primary school, let alone 6 degrees. I'd pay to see one. He's the only guy I've ever seen that needs to use 6 syllables to pronounce the word admitted. An entire human lifetime is not enough to scratch the surface of all the knowledge out there. The more I learn, the more I realize how ignorant I am. We just got to get those letters after your name. Just got to get the letters after your name. For anyone who wants to debate, always remember 1 Corinthians 3:18-23. Yep. Better off becoming a fool than thinking you're wise. It's literally called the appeal to authority fallacy for a reason. That's correct. Confession through projection. That is it. Hillbilly Hijab's education credentials are from fake diploma mills only, not from anywhere reputable. Is Ali D fully idiot.
Is it fully or truly?
No, I'm truly idiot. Both of Ali D's brain cells are competing for third place. Dawah 2026, ladies and gentlemen, it is glorious. Yes, it is. Talent of reading from screen without comprehension. That's it. His turtleneck is blocking blood flow to his brain. Poor Ali. Why is he still a Muslim even after claiming the miracles of the Quran are debunked for mutta benefits? Yep. So Ali Dawah admits that the arguments fail, and so why is he still doing it? Got to be the mutta. The cover-up is always worse than the crime. Mojab taking the video down made it infinitely worse. Absolutely it did. And not going to get any better for him. So, guys, we checked out Ali Dawah's damage control. I think he just made it worse and made it more glaringly obvious, especially when we checked out the comments section. But this is getting beyond pathetic. There was pathetic, and now everything is just beyond pathetic. But crazy stuff. All right, we're going to get going. Issa, final thoughts on anything before we head out?
This is disastrous.
Yeah,
It's disastrous. It's utterly disastrous, and it's good that you're covering this. And it's shameful. I think that's really what I have to say. It's shameful that anyone would defend this, and I see people defending it, and that's disturbing. That you would defend cackling, laughing, and saying horrible things about people's wives. I mean, all of that's linked to the insanity that we see here. I think the Muslim community should feel ashamed about this. This is shameful. It's extremely shameful. It's degrading. And I've heard so many people herald Muhammad Hijab as this great hero. And he talked about golden showers, and the Ali Dawah character talked about wanting to take people's lives. I mean, these people, it's grotesque. And I would even say it's deeper than that. It's evil. It's evil. That's the kind of thing that I'm seeing. It's extremely evil, and it's disturbing. I think that's. I wish I could say more, but I'm just kind of in shock on how horrible and evil it is.
You see this? You've got a Muslim who is in shock over how terrible Dawah has become.
Yeah.
All right, Jai.
Muslims, these are your Dawah heroes. This is what Islam has come to. Repent, come to Jesus.
Pretty simple, guys. All right. Well, glad we had this show, but, there's going to be more of these, guys. There's going to be more of these. In fact, Lord willing, I will be on tomorrow night because Sheikh Uthman posted his new and improved updated case, arguing that Rebecca was 3. So going to have Defending a Lion and Ash Mays on there, and we're going to take a closer look at it and the Talmud passages that Sheikh Uthman is now insisting we all have to go with. So we're going to check it out. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. These are good times, guys. This is the golden age of crushing Dawah, and it's only getting worse for Dawah. Watch. Catch y'all next time.